All right, hello and welcome. I think we're looking good. Like last week, we had a problem, so I want to get that, make sure everything is rolling good. Okay, so here we are. It's Roller Wiener Monday. Holy mackerel, get your wieners out. Pretty soon it's going to be pretty cold to take them outside, so you're going to have to figure something out. All right, so thank you everybody for being here while I tested that. That looking good. They still want these 18 to 21-year-olds. Hey, it's Driver Appreciation Week. Are you being appreciated by your company? Hair versus urine test cost. I looked some stuff up. I'm surprised. There's a honk law in Michigan. Honk. Yeah, did you know about it? Well, it's on the books. Are you following the law? You're probably breaking the law. That's not great. There are 4 things you have to have with your ELD to be legal. And I have some stock prices, as I try to do every week. And let's see here. What am I doing? All right, I need to do that and do this. All right, so here we are here. And doing clickings. And I had Trucker Hershey here earlier. And, of course, Captain Flatbed was here today. I was first today, which is pretty awesome. I don't usually get to come in first, so that was pretty good. Al Johns is here today. Hello, what's going on? Christina Jones, I was first. I beat you today. Magnum Johnson, hello there. Well, that's good. We all do. Air Gunner Bob, what's going on in Pennsylvania? Eddie McFadden, hello. Misty, what's happening? Hello, my perps, which is very, maybe true, right? Okay, peeps, let's get the show on the road, Kevin. Have to, look, last week we had a really late start because I had no idea what I'm doing, so. Misty's going to do laundry today, so a little early, Luke. Yeah, I want to get the stream out, make sure it's going on. Hello, Wild Bill. It's good to see you. Mud Monkey Trucking is here. What's happening? How's it going out there? It's good to see you here. Kelly, good afternoon from Big Sandy, Texas. Manuel, hello there. Big Huge Mike is here. What's happening? Mark Fu, on home time in South Carolina all week on Driver Appreciation Week. When are you going to be appreciated? I think the pilot's giving free drinks every day. I saw something about that. So, Mark is on time. Mark Ely, hello. Luke, I wish I could find the name of the theme music. Yeah, it's on YouTube. On, what did I call it? What was it? Oh, Far Away. No, Never Better. I don't remember what it is. Email me so I can remember to look it up. If you're not prepped already, you're way too late. But the only way to test the stream is to send the stream. Send it. So I didn't have any other way to do that. They found a truck and trailer Loves in Falkville. Who's they? Hey, Cassius King, when you go, well, he does so many lives that they just can't even keep up with the alerts for him. So, what's going on with that? Cassius King Trucking, hello, it's good to see you today. Steve, a little less ketchup. Well, look, you can, dress your wiener however you want for your own good. Oh, Celadon, who found it? Loves the wieners are good, the pilot ones suck. I'm into those tornadoes now. Good afternoon, Norman Bates. How's it going out there? How's occupancy? Wildman Quick Trip has the best roller wiener selection. Big ones, small ones, short ones, skinny ones, fat ones. Yeah, that way you get your choice, right? However you want it, you can have it. I made it, Dave Johnson. That's good. Steve RT from Denver. Hello, Hi-Fi Truckers here. I love that. Max Arm to Richard. Received texting violation while operating. Oh, how is that going to affect your record? That's a problem. I would fight it. Get a lawyer on that one because that is a serious violation, and some places just won't hire you for that. So, don't pay it or whatever until you talk to a lawyer, which I'm not, even though people think I am. Daycap Gear Jammer, good morning from Northern California, where the roller wieners are smoky flavored. They're all crisp out there. Everyone's burnt, so that was sad. I saw a bunch of classic cars were burned out there. I didn't like that. Christopher Robin Trucking, how was the weekend? Get that nice Ford back yet? I did not get the Ford back yet. Today's 4 weeks on my Escape, getting an engine in it, and no, it's not back yet, so... Still at Ford. So there you go. What are we having for lunch? I don't know what you guys are having for lunch. I'll be here during lunch. Cassius King Trucking, how about those cheeseburger roller bites? I know. I mean, there's so many different ones. So delicious. You can't beat them. Try a new one every day. Randy is here. Good. Police found Celadon truck and trailer. The police? What do you mean they found it? Where the heck was it? Like at somebody's house? Who's looking for it? Considering I get pictures of these pretty regularly, still truck stops. I mean, congratulations, the police found a truck at a truck stop. Wow, it's been there like 7 months. Norman Bates, thanks for asking. It's pretty dead lately. Oh, well, hopefully there'll be somebody it'll be picking up soon there at the old motel. That's pretty sad. Not good occupancy rates. Imperial NYC, hey, what's going on? Columbia, George, greetings from Poor Air Portland. I know, how like half the town is burning up over there. What is happening? They've evacuated half of Portland. What's going on? My sister got 2 tickets in one day, 75 into 65 and 105 into 70. Luke, well, if you're going to get a ticket, you might as well be 105 into 70. What's she driving? 105, not a truck, I assume. Eugene, Victoria's question, good rates with good spot market. Your prediction on how long? I have no idea. Spot market is an owner-operator thing. I just look some rates up on DAT if I could find them and put them out there, but I don't know. I don't know what the rates are because I just get paid either way. Cash King Trucking to put a down payment on the Alfa Romeo. I'm one of those people. I don't put any money down in a car. I always let them take a risk on it. Look, I love that Alfa, right? I love them. That's the 4-cylinder. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the Ferrari V6 in it. If people saw my video yesterday, I always go look at cars on Sunday. I happen to find an Alfa Romeo Giulia in town at a Nissan dealer of all things. It doesn't have a warranty other than the remainder of the factory warranty, and there's no dealer, anywhere near here. And you're going to get to know the dealer very regularly. Like, you'll be there all the time. You have a punch card. Come in 5 times in 2 months and get a free lunch or something. So didn't buy the Alfa. Too bad. I would like to go test drive it, which I'm considering doing. Good afternoon from BRB Trucking, Brandon Bailey. Beautiful day in Oklahoma, headed to Missouri, and you want a hot dog. Exactly. I mean, doesn't that make it just like you should go get one immediately? Donkey Bite, hello, diesel freaks. How do you get an accent? That's pretty good. Trucker Hershey, picking up in Evansville, 1300, out at 1400. Going north to Grand Rapids. Nice. Tell me your route and we'll pass each other. Right. No, excuse me. We will because, it depends on what time I leave. So if for some reason I have to leave later, I do take the interstate, but normally I'll go out to 63 from Lafayette. So go straight across to 63 and then take that straight down to 41 all the way down. So that's where I'm going. Yep. So if you're coming up 41 out of Evansville, there I go. Antifa, burnt Oregon, and California, all backed by Democrat communists. Well, that'd be something to prove. Christina, mass murders don't need full police to murder more people. Yes. 105 must have been downhill Wyoming. Depends what you're driving, right? Maybe that Alfa. Maybe she has an Alfa Romeo Giulia. She was driving a dad's 2018 Hyundai Elantra at 105. Wow. They just recalled a bunch of Hyundais, too. They're catching on fire. So, Wilbon, good afternoon, Mark and Trucking fans. Hello there. That was Santa Fe's, though. Stephen, right, in the house, we'll say that. Columbia, Georgia, about half our deliveries have been canceled. Why? Oh, businesses are shutting down due to poor air quality, but not our company. Just passed here's a respirator. That doesn't help for this, I don't think. Nice that you have N95s, though. We have a box of masks now, and it says, these are hard to get. Only take them if you need them. Right, so great. Christopher Robin, looking at a Freightliner Cascadia. Can you tell me why they're so cheap, and are they reliable? I don't know. We used to run Cascadias until they came up with this new model, so we had Evolutions for a long time. Fleets run them a lot. That's probably why they're so cheap. So, I don't know. There must be an owner-operator that has a Cascadia that might be able to comment on that better than me. I haven't had that many problems with mine. Norman Bates has had a lot of complaints about our showers for some reason. Must be the pipes. Oh, yeah. That's not great. You need those pipes fixed. Maybe, does your mom know anything about plumbing there? What is the honk law, Columbia, Georgia? So, Michigan is trying... Listen, it hasn't even been repealed yet. And they've tried to repeal it a number of years and can't. But this year they think they're going to be able to repeal it. So in Michigan, this is still the current law, which I couldn't believe this was in the news. Before you overtake another vehicle, so on the interstate, if you're passing somebody or whatever, you are required to give them an audible warning, either a honk or, as the article said, you may yell out the window at them that you're passing them. It is forbidden, right, for you to pass someone without giving them an audible warning. And they said this comes from years ago before cars had mirrors, so they didn't know people were coming up on them. So you have to either honk your horn or yell out the window at them. And one officer said that yelling at them usually they give you a visual response to your audible warning. But regardless, it is the law. They did talk to the police and they said they don't enforce the law. So if you're coming up on someone and you're going to pass them, you are required to give them an audible warning in Michigan. They are trying to repeal it. Apparently they've tried 3 times. They can't get it repealed. But this year they think they're going to get it repealed. Is that incredible? You can't get that repealed? Maxim, Richard, my boss says you will charge me $6,000 if paid and guilty of text violation of $100 an aisle. Is that real? Your boss can't charge you anything, for getting a ticket and fire you. okay, can certainly fire you. It's a $100 violation. The problem is it's a serious violation on your record. You need to talk to a lawyer in the area about your exact ticket, what the exact charge is or whatever, and see what can be done if it can be reduced to something that is not a serious violation. Texting while driving is a huge violation. So, and your boss charging you money? No, I don't think so. They may take it out of your check, but I would certainly file, with the state immediately. How do I feel about guns in the truck? I think that the more things that happen in the society, the more you need to put a gun in your truck. L. Johns, what's happening? GP Transco's here. Hello, it's good to see you. I got stopped at 100. David got stopped at 166 on your Ninja, and luckily the trooper was also a biker, so he let you go. Wow. Was he on a Ninja too? I didn't know those big Harleys they drive could go 166 miles an hour. Holy mackerel. Or did you just pull over, which would have been nice of you. Kelly, my brother... Latitude Logging Company, and he brought their fire truck up to defend their house. Nice. He's going to need it. There are people out there hosing their house down with garden hoses. Gear Jammer, greetings from PetSmart Warehouse in Hamel, Illinois. There's a PetSmart here in Lafayette. While beer trucking, I carry a cold steel tomahawk and dagger. That's good. There are people that carry knives and other kinds of things. Big Wheel, the very best, most expensive items on the menu because we're not paying for it. Dine and Dash Monday. Mark the Man, thank you for answering my question. You're quite welcome. I might be buying my buddy's house in West Virginia with a 1 acre for $90,000. 3 and 2 with a 1 acre. All right. Carry a Glock 19. That's pretty good. Despite the dumb stuff we see in the news and the dumb stuff drivers, do you think trucking is moving in the right direction? Well, trucking is always moving. That'd be a good bumper sticker. Look, trucking, it isn't getting any better. There are all these regulations, cameras coming and everything, but it's still an occupation that is going to carry you through your whole life, okay? As long as you tolerate the stupid regulations by people that don't drive, cameras, other kind of stupid things. I still think that it's an occupation that can give you maybe a better living than you would otherwise have. If you are 21, don't have any college, and are looking at getting into trucking, you're probably not like, middle management somewhere or whatever. So you certainly can make not easy, but you can make 100 in trucking on basically just a high school diploma, maybe even a GED. So it's, unlikely you'd be able to do better than that. Mark Fu, I own a 2013 Cascade. Reliable, but you're a mechanic, or so you don't even pay to PM it or anything. That helps. That's going to save you money if you own your own truck. Or will it? I always think time versus money. Trucking, not risking getting a felony, carrying a firearm. If you use it and are justified in the wrong carrying to begin. Look, if you use it, you better be right, or you're going to have a problem. That's the thing. You're going to kill somebody, be right about it. If you have to pass someone, you're already yelling at them. Yeah, that's true. Well, in Michigan, that's why you don't have any tickets in Michigan, I guess. When you go there, you're already yelling. GP Transco, you can't really be charged for anything as a company driver unless you're just paying your ticket directly to the city or state. Right. Anything that they charge you for, you have to agree to. And companies can charge for insurance and stuff, which you always sign for. They always say, hey, we're going to take this out of your check, and you sign it. But like a fine, they are not allowed to fine you $6,000 for getting a $100 ticket. They can fire you. Iowa, likely, right to work state, most states. They can just go, oh, you get a ticket, you're fired. It doesn't even matter if you get a ticket. They can just fire you. They can go, you know what? You're fired. So that they can do, but charging you, no, cannot do that. So then we get cited for aggressive driving for blowing the horn in excess. Dave Johnson. Well, excess is one thing, right? In Michigan, if you blew the horn one time, you're following the law. Or yelled out the window, hey, passing, kind of thing. One time, continually blowing the horn, no. Well, beer trucking just stays in the pro-gun states. Well, then you don't have any problem. Rest area is closed. I notice more and more truck drivers disregarding your blinkers and don't use them. Yes, of course. It's the people that don't use them in their car, don't use them in the truck. So it's always the same. You're either used to using them or you're not, I think. And then some people that use them don't turn them off because they're not used to driving a truck where they don't self-cancel. I think it's a problem. I'll have guns in my truck. People don't like guns make you nervous. Exactly. Waiting on Hurricane Sally. Oh, is there another one coming? Holy moly. Trucking through Flagstaff at 76. Wow, it's only a little warmer than it is here. It's like 72 here. Julio Vasquez, I just found out that Werner does not pay for national holidays, like Labor Day. Is that the norm? And it seems to be 50-50 from what people say. Now, most people that were on here on Labor Day last week did get paid, but I think it's a different driver that's on here necessarily. And so it seems to be places like Werner, larger places, don't always pay holidays. And then some of them only pay if you work. And then some of them only pay like $50 or something. They don't give you a day's pay. You should get a day's pay, but is that worth quitting over? I don't know. So 7 paid holidays. You see, you got to determine that versus your whole job. So maybe that's $1,400 a year, right? Maybe $200 a day, let's say. Is it worth quitting a job over that? Maybe. Maybe. Al Johns recommends trucking. Over the road teaches you so much. It certainly teaches you to be independent, live on your own. Certainly. Alexandra's late. Dealing with the bank on your car loans. I know. Well, once you have a whole fleet like that, you're probably on the bank with them every day. Red Monkey Trucking is here from GP Transco. Andrew Hurricane, even if trucking isn't the career for you, at least it'll teach you the difference between travel lane and the passing lane. You also learn not to take a clean bathroom for granted. No doubt. No doubt. I don't know if anybody remembers traveling, in the 70s, going to the gas station where you got a key that was attached to a tire rim that you had to drag over there. That was always an adventure. Oh, Red Monkey Trucking, you guys got a Kenworth? Oh, I think I did see something about that. I got paid $300 for Labor Day and had it off. Luke, see, that's more like it. Okay, so it's $300, let's say, and there's 7. That's $2,100. Do you quit a job over $2,100? That's the question about it. That's why they do this little kind of stuff. Do you quit over just that? I don't think so. I mean, that's a tough quit over a couple of grand. It's how are you treated there? Do you like being there, or do they treat you well? Is otherwise the job good other than you didn't get paid? That kind of thing. And you're like, well, I'll tolerate this because I'm treated pretty good. For $2,000, that's not a lot of money. Reno, Red Monkey Trucking, we're headed home from Reno. Going to ride the motorcycle this weekend, Dragon's Tail. All right. Nice. I've had people flash their headlights before passing Columbia, George. I see that in cars sometimes. Once in a while a truck. But, yeah, I see it in cars. I don't know where people learn that. Is that in some kind of driver manual in one of these weird states or something? I don't know. Norman Bates, stop tolerating dirty showers at the truck stop. I walked into one last week that had urine on the toilet and trash on the floor. Sweet. Complained, got it fixed. What'd they do about it? Just give you a different shower, I hope? They shouldn't give you out a shower before they've had a chance to clean it. I mean, geez. Alexander got rid of the IROC. Too bad. Got a Kia Sport hatchback 6-speed. Wow. That's a huge change. GP Transco says not all companies pay holidays, maybe have to. Yeah. We pay holidays, and if a driver works, we pay for the day plus their work. That's how I get it, and that's probably a lot of people do that. Good question to ask a recruiter before coming on board. Yeah, I think so. I just don't know if that's enough to not work there. Certainly, if that's like the example was Werner. If you like working at Werner and they're treating you well, and they have a policy of not paying holidays, I don't know if that's enough to not work there. Although I do think it's nice to get a paid holiday. It's certainly not it's not mandatory by law, but it's certainly great to get paid for the day. And I agree, if you work, you should get the holiday plus your work. Carlos, not as much of an adventure as happening to go big potty in an outhouse at a restaurant with no lights. That's pretty adventurous. Scottish Trucker Tommy's here. Tune down to your truck channel to try to learn something new. Well, thank you. I don't know if that will happen. Probably I'll be the one learning, which I do most weeks here. So, but thank you for being here. GP Transco, at least now you have a nice teal bowl to use as you'd like. Yeah. Is it true, Christopher Robin, that GP Transco, you guys just sue Elite Fleet Trucking? GP Transco, Elite Fleet Trucking. I didn't hear anything about that. Is there some kind of thing going on? See, I try to stay out of the drama. I'm out of drama. So I don't know what all that's going. I heard like a few things about it or whatever, and I'm like, I'm out. Holy mackerel. This kind of driver appreciation week, we're going to get probably a hat. So will anybody get anything from their company? Oh, they also usually do a cookout, but the cookout ends at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon because managers and that don't like staying. And we're like, well, people leave after 2. Oh, well, you guys should just come in early. Like, I'm going to drive over there to get a hamburger, whatever. So it's not that much appreciation. I think I'll probably get a hat out of it. So I think that's something. George Wilson, I'm sliding on good afternoon, everyone. A Gomer says, hey, what's going on out there? Puts the diesel in the tank or it gets no bank. Oh, exactly. Alexander, it's a sporty little car and it's much more generous on gasoline despite that you drive at high RPMs. Back to trucking, I turned in 3,100 miles, extra stops in Minneapolis. That's a great week. You are going to get a pretty good check out of that. Just had a foot-long wiener really filled you up, I bet. When you get that whole thing in there. What are some of the weirdest trucking company policies you've come across, GP Transco? Some of them have, these call-ins, at least for me. And so they'll say, if you don't have a load, call us every 2 or 3 hours or whatever. And so I'm always thinking, well, why is that? You track the truck. Why do drivers have to call you if the truck is tracked? I think most companies of any size certainly are tracking their trucks. They're expensive, and you want to know where they are. It helps dispatch plan loads better, certainly. So I think that kind of thing is crazy. Loading at Nestle right now. Been here 3 hours, Norman Bates. Really? Is that water, Nestle? What are they doing? Nestle makes like every kind of product in the world. MTS, I think the industry is moving in the right direction as far as quality of life. Old school, over the road, staying out for a month or more is now choice in most cases. Yeah, I've been out 5 months. I stayed out 5 months. Certainly trucks, way better. Okay, living in the truck, better. Parking, worse. So it's up and down. The truck's 100% better. Even bad trucks today are better than good trucks. You get in an Astro. It's like 1990, you get in an Astro. It's still not great, even though everything works. You're like, holy mackerel, or an R model Mac. So just getting in a truck today that has problems is better than getting in a truck years ago that worked. Companies, on the whole, are probably treating people a little better. Pay is up some. Home time is better. A lot of it is computers, right? They can dispatch you better. GP Transco, we never tried to sue Elite Fleet Trucker. Made a lot of things up. All we sent was an email. Can we leave some comments clarifying the things you got wrong? And he said no. Well, leave some comments anyway. Unless comments are turned off. An astute viewer sent me a TMC video this week where they go over their policies, their pay, and everything. They have comments turned off. I love it. I was going to leave a comment. No comments allowed. Alexandra, my previous employer told us driver we could defend ourselves. I left because of this. I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. That's true. I would say most companies don't allow what they would consider a weapon. It's probably company policy. Certainly here, no weapons. I missed the blitz, didn't see anything. Must be lucky. Jason, I did ask some people about that, and nobody I knew that goes over scales had any problems. Did anybody have any problems last week? I couldn't find anybody at work that had any kind of deal, so. Dave Johnson couldn't see any DOT during the week. I-90 through New York or Pennsylvania, Ohio. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Some states were like, I heard that they're going berserk, but then I didn't find anybody. Word policy is 50 cents a mile drive, $1.50. You pay the company for out of route miles. Mark Fu. Yeah, that would be not allowed. That's another one of those things that's not allowed. A company can't charge you, if you're a company driver, okay, out of your check for miles that you do out of route. They can fire you. They cannot charge money out of your wages. If a company's taking these kind of things out of your wages, you should report them to whatever state you're in. Under the Department of Unemployment, there's usually a wage and hour division. It's called different things. Go on there and just put in a complaint that I didn't get paid this week. They're not paying me. And then they will have to explain to the state why they are not paying you. They can't charge you for their truck. They can fire you, though. They can go, okay, here's your money back. You're fired. So there's that. $1.50 to go out of route. Christopher Robin, I was going to say that's crazy, but I guess everyone's right. Makes a lot of things up. Thanks for answering. All right. Yeah, I don't know anything about that. Fortunately, I'm out of that. I like driving regional. I still get a lot of over-the-road feeling, but home on the weekends. Can you still get miles doing regional, Luke? I always wondered that. I never took that one intermediate step. I guess it depends how big of regional is. I've seen some companies' maps where regional is like the middle 2/3 of the country. And I'd say that's like super regional, Norman Bates, I'm picking up water. Guess they're filling the bottles from the tap. Norman Bates, yeah, if you look at the bottles, sometimes it says from a municipal source on these water bottles. That's a tap. There's just somebody in the back filling up bottles and throwing them in a bin or whatever, putting them on a palletizing thing. Oh, GP Transco, you were blocked from commenting. Oh, nice. Here's what I'm saying. I don't want any comments back on it. Okay. So, all right. I thought maybe they blocked all comments. Wild Bear Trucking, Maverick has a policy of don't ask, don't tell on guns. I like that policy. They're probably officially no guns, which they probably have to be for insurance or something. But then it's don't ask, don't tell. Oh, what about TMC? Don't walk on the grass. I love that policy too. Stay off the grass. That kind of thing would aggravate me to no end. They take the money out of your bonus. Oh, Kevin, that's interesting. That's interesting because it's not wages. They list it as a bonus. See, I'm not an attorney. I'd file anyway and let them tell it to the state of why you didn't get it. Because they're not allowed to charge you to drive the truck as a company driver. Okay. So I'd file anyhow and let them explain it to the state why they're not paying you. MG Jackson crossed 4 to 5 scales and 2 to 3 red, green at the scale. So no problems. They didn't do anything to you. So I'm not seeing anybody getting any problems here. JJ Hammer down had a regional just up and down California. Oh, it's a huge state. So yeah, lots of miles. Look, as long as regional will keep you rolling, then maybe regional is for you. Luke, it's 2,600 miles going between Philly, Ohio, Maine, and Virginia. All right. That's a lot of East Coast, though. Ugh. Jubba Wub. Like guns too, but I don't get the fascination with carrying them in the truck. I just keep a tire thumper. Well, because a gun is a lot better weapon than a tire thumper. It's not a fascination. I mean, if somebody comes up, you get a little bit of a distance there. That's the thing. Jim Trucker, happy Roller Wiener Monday, everyone. Yeah, that's but you just be ready. Be ready, because you'll probably be arrested on the spot. You'll have to go and explain something, maybe. It depends on how all of it goes down, but it's a huge risk. I'm regional, but I only go from Massachusetts to Pennsylvania and back. Did 3,300 miles, plus all my drop and hooks. Made out good, I'd say, but everybody's getting miles. What happened to there's no freight out there? Well, they just extended the exemption as well for food products and stuff for the emergency through the end of the year. They're like, just keep driving through the end of the year. So no logging in that for exempt products through December 31st or until the emergency's ended, if that's sooner. Got all green bypasses during the blitz. I wanted an inspection. That's easy, man. Oh, you get paid for the inspection? Yeah, I don't. So I don't want one, but I don't go over any scales. Red Monkey Trucking didn't even see any DOT. That truck, they go teal, passes. Teal gets to go by immediately. Look at the indestructible umbrella. It's a legit weapon, but it's an umbrella. An indestructible umbrella? So you'd have to have like an English accent to carry this thing around, though. I say, it's a bit sunny today. I I-80 back and forth. Only went over scale once and never saw the DOT. What were they doing then? What happened? This big check turned out to be no check? Big Huge Mike gets 2,800 miles a week on a regional. See, I always went the road because I would get, 2,800 miles or more a week on the road, but I like to get that at one shot, I guess. That's the difference. Regional, it's got to be multiple, deliveries and pickups and stuff. I always like just, 3,000 miles in one load. And that's your whole week. You're all set. Andrew Hurricane, I'm noticing a lot of Quality Inn and Motel 6 locations have truck parking. Does that really ever come in handy? Strikes me sort of waste of space at the hotel if truckers ever stay there. Well, a lot of them, there's trucks parked around there. There's I just went by this yesterday. I noticed this. At the Baymont Inn here in Lafayette, there was a truck parked like in the parking lot, the car parking lot. And, Motel 6, I don't know. Do drivers stay at the Motel 6? Cash is King Trucking could probably chime in on that, but do regular drivers stay at the Motel 6? I mean, what if I use my Desert Eagle as a tire thumper? Too, it could be many things. That's correct. Wow. That'd wake up everybody in the whole parking lot if you use that thing on a person there. Brandon, I'm an owner-operator at Hall Bacon from Iowa to Oklahoma, then back to Missouri, Nebraska. I just keep doing rounds. Sooner or later, I get a day or two at home. Not bad. Look, if you got a deal like that, absolutely. It's almost dedicated. It's dedicated to one product, I guess. Minus New York City, I don't think driving East Coast is that bad, especially since it's dedicated and you go all the same place. Then you know where they are. That's different, right? You know exactly how to get in there and everything. The East Coast is always a problem if you don't know where you're going. Too many problems there. He must be the penguin with the umbrella. Didn't he have a secret weapon in the tip? Oh, yeah, Burgess Meredith. Yes, right, exactly. They won't let us use the exemption. This is all logged miles. Big, huge Mike. It's up to your company. I should say that. This exemption If you're a company driver, it's up to your company on whether you use it. It's just available to be used. They don't have to use it or whatever. So that's correct. I do know some owner-operators that are certainly using it to their benefit and to their wallet's benefit. Donkey Bite. For our driver appreciation cookouts, chest freezer full of ice cream, sandwiches, and some swag. All right, I would take that. I'd rather have the hat, really, than a hamburger anyway. Something like that. Shirts, something useful. A flashlight. I've seen flashlights. Red Monkey Trucking, make your bed. Why are we making our bed? I don't make my bed at home. I'm not making it in a truck. Does it help if I make my bed, my dog gets back there and it tears it up, Kelly? Yeah, why am I making my bed? Anyways, that indestructible umbrella ain't no joke. The thing is cool. I've never heard anything about it. Oh, but maybe we're talking about, right. So I'm off on this. TMC, right? Bed made, all that kind of stuff. That kind of stuff is so frustrating. Norman Bates, help your fellow driver. Update the parking conditions on Trucker Path if you have it and are able. Do you have truck parking over there at the hotel? But a lot of things are better. Just entertainment alone. Basically get paid to listen to audiobooks and podcasts. Yeah, that's true. Right. Look, it's not that complicated of a job once you get into the thick of things. If people will stay a year, trucking can be their whole career. Ooh, which rhymed as well. That's pretty good. They should put that at truck school. But seriously, if you'll just stay the year, you can go basically almost anywhere you want. Just keep a clean record. I don't know. Just saw a Celadon trailer being pulled by a day cab. Said the decals on it. I get those pictures all the time. Where are all these trailers and why aren't they being sold at auction? Big Huge Mike makes his bed every day. Is it tight? Can you bounce a quarter off it? Blair, DOT is utilizing cash lanes on I-88 toll booth. Last week, several trucks pulled in. Wife saw a wrecker towing a FedEx truck away with DOT supervising. Really? I thought FedEx, of course, a lot of them are contractors, but I thought FedEx would keep their stuff in better shape. Another reason not to use cash. Can't live your life in fear over not being able to carry a gun. I just don't get it. No, I mean, you're not living your life in fear, but being prepared and being fearful are two different things, I think. Danny DeVito was the best penguin. Was he a penguin in one of them? I'm talking about the original series here, not these, remakes or whatever like that. It will become a legal issue with the exception if there's an accident. That's probably why big companies will not allow it, even though it's legal. Yeah, well, they don't want any kind of liability. If they allow, whatever they allow, then they're going to be liable for if there's the wrongful use of it, I think, as a non-lawyer. So a driver has a gun, and it's allowed by his company. They go, sure, you can carry a gun. Then he shoots somebody, whatever, willy-nilly or incorrectly, and the company's going to get sued for that. They'll be sued probably anyway, but their out is to say, look, we don't even allow this. This driver, as soon as we heard about it, we fired him, and we don't allow this kind of thing. It's right here in our book. And so the driver did this on their own. They're saying, look, plausible deniability. They're basically saying that, the intervening act of a criminal like this, right, is, which they're saying their driver is the intervening act of him disobeying our policies, so we don't have anything to do with it. That's what they're trying to say. They're just keeping themselves out of it. Hours of service changing this month. They are the 29th of September, and we'll be out with a video before that about all the new hours. You're going to get the best one that I've heard from drivers is you don't have to take a 30-minute break until after 8 hours of driving time, and it can be on duty. So all you need is 30 minutes after 8 driving hours, and it can be on duty time. That's probably the best of the changes. My first year retracting was so difficult for me, I almost left the industry. Now I'm on my third year and love it more than ever. Yeah, Luke, you made it through the year. Now it's not bad. It just gets better as you go along. The job gets easier. You get more opportunities, stuff like that. Every time the wife eats and gets out of the truck, I come back messed up bed courtesy of Scooter. Right, the dog. So you have no choice, right? Scottish trucker Tommy, one of my guys got shut down for 10 hours when he was hauling an exempt load. It said it was exemption right across the bill of lading. The sheriff told him he didn't think it was an emergency. See, this is the other problem of using the exemption. The DOT doesn't even know anything about the law. So they just extended it. How many DOT would be like, I don't know, or sheriffs, he doesn't think it's an emergency. It isn't for him to determine if it's an emergency. If the load's exempt, it's exempt. But some of these guys don't take any of that into account. Big, huge Mike, no quarters bounced off the bed. I'm saying, yeah, bounce those quarters. Yeah, Red Monkey Trucking TMC. To go in for inspection, your bed has to be made. And when the truck's inspected at the terminal there, that's kind of crazy to me. How does that have anything to do with safety? You know, let's look at how's the load tarp. That we could look at that. Okay, but the bed being made, that has nothing to do with safety, I don't think. Billy Bones, sorry you're late. Well, thank you for being here anyway. A crazy thing that they used to do here, I guess, is, Air Gunner Bob, I work 5 and get a 34, 6 and get a 48, 7 and 3. 3,600 miles, that's crazy. My company lets me choose from week to week, just went over 100,000 safe miles. Well, thank you very much for that, and that's pretty good that they let you choose, get your home timing, you choose it. That's perfect. That's what they should do. If more companies would just do little stuff like this, they'll keep drivers. They wouldn't have to go and try and find drivers all the time. The toughest part was backing and finding a decent company. Yeah, probably in that order. Once you get one down, then you can go find a better place. You just carry a hammer in the door as a weapon if needed. I have a hammer, but I use it all the time, really. Half the time the glad hands are all bent up. I got to bang them out into shape and stuff. I had a trailer the other day that in a few months will be able to buy booze. Jeanette got my first inspection in 7 years last week in Maryland hauling hazmat. Did you pass it? Steve, I make my bed every day. If you don't, you're an undisciplined bastard. It's a mental divider between work and rest. Okay, I don't make the bed. I guess I'm undisciplined. I don't make the bed. Not doing it. I'm getting back in it that night. Not wasting my time making a bed for a bed that I got to get back in. It's all time versus productivity. How about that? So I remember years ago, a place we used to do what was called safety bingo. Has anybody done this? So they either handed out to you or mailed to you bingo cards, depending if you ever came by the terminal. And then at a certain date, they started at $50, and you had to call in every day and listen to a safety message. Okay, so you listened to the safety message, which went on and on. Then they gave you 048 or whatever. They would give you a bingo number. Each day, the $50 pot went up $5 until somebody got bingo. Okay, and so then you got the money, $80 or whatever, and they started over. If anybody had an accident or got a ticket, the bingo stopped and it restarted everything. So the thing is, that's horrible. Number one, we wouldn't listen. Eventually, we all figured out one person can listen, give everybody else the bingo thing because it has to be the same for everybody. But that was horrible because somebody else has an accident, maybe somebody I don't even know. I don't get a safety bonus. So I didn't like that at all. The safety bonus there, which I told them, this is based on luck. How is safety based on luck here? How does that work? We're basing everybody's safety bonus is based on luck. One person has an accident. I can't control if they have an accident or get a ticket. So I didn't like it, and eventually they stopped doing it, and I haven't heard from it since. But I thought that was quite ridiculous. Pay me based on the luck of somebody else. TMC, I would strip the bed, so you're going to clean the bedding. Oh, I wonder if they'll allow that. So you just have a blank mattress there? I've never had the inside of my truck inspected anywhere I've worked. That's just weird. Yeah, I've never had work look at it. I've only had the DOT in there one time in my whole career, so, and I've never had work look inside the truck and say, oh, your bed isn't made. Do the bill ladings have to be exempt on it to haul food? I haven't seen that yet, and I use the exemption. No, it just has to be a product that is exempt. Some places are printing it on there to make it easier for drivers to use the exemption unless they come upon, Buford T. Justice here who doesn't know anything about it. But yeah. I used to love safety bingo. I don't like it because safety bingo at our place was based on everybody. So you have an accident, I don't get a bonus. Why is that? Why should I lose my bonus? My safety should be based on me, not somebody else. Donkey Bite, you use my indestructible umbrella. You rapscallion, yes. Exactly. You're going to have to have better words for people. I'm going to have to look this thing up. How much is this thing? And what's it made out of? And does it actually work like an umbrella? Does DMC have uniforms with Boy Scout badges on the sleeves? No, that's Schneider. That's Schneider. They used to have, I don't know if they still have a hair policy and a tattoo policy there. So, Kelly Patterson, I turned 3,300 plus miles last week and did not have any problems at weigh stations. See, that's the thing. Everybody's getting a lot of miles now. Everybody's miles came way back up. Paul Harris, they say that a made bed is a mental thing. It's relaxing to go to a neat made bed. I guess. It doesn't seem to affect me either way. Unhand me, good sir. I say. I'm not slapping with a glove. This I will not stand for. They want to send me to North Carolina, Alexander. When did North Carolina move to the Midwest? Oh, yeah. See, that's the thing with these Midwest. Oh, Midwest includes like every state from Virginia to Nevada. They consider that that's the Midwest region. Mark, for my last come on of firearms, got shot in the stomach in 91 in Gastonia. I had it bad. It did not stop the bullet. Oh, you just weren't fast enough with the bat. Exactly. Apparently you lived through it. How did that happen? Good afternoon, Ralph. What's happening? Got $100 for passing inspection. Nice. DOT lady was very nice, but not so nice as the guy next to me. She was mad because his English was so bad. She should, look, if you can't speak English, she should have put him out of service. It's a requirement for a CDL. People can call me whatever they want. It's a CDL requirement, not to live in the country. To get that CDL, you must be able to converse, and especially with an officer. And if you can't have a conversation with an officer about what's going on, you're out of service. Simple as that. Make your bed, clean your trucks. The truck's pretty clean, but, bed, not making the bed. I'm just not. It's not like the truck is packed full of garbage, but I'm not making the bed. I don't make a bed at home. ConAgra is giving a letter with each exempt load for law enforcement. That's good. I wonder if that sheriff would have accepted that. Apparently not, because those bills were posted on there. Yeah, Schneider, right. Schneider's the one with all the patches. They have all their drivers that walk around like, oh, I've got 40 patches. They're like the guy fixing your car or whatever. Crazy. Oh, Betsy's getting into the picture. Yikes. Oh, Betsy would pass an inspection. The cats don't even make their bed. I started carrying a can of wasp spray for personal protection. Oh, really? I wonder how that works. I think that would work good. Wasp spray. Of course, you got a distance problem on that too, right? I look forward to a bold coffee in the morning. Any suggestion on good quality? Well, truck coffee makers, I am not a coffee drinker. The things that we learned about Mark, right? No beer, right? But also, I don't really drink coffee. So, I don't know. I liked it because it made us hide injuries. It was working at a tire warehouse. Oh, good. Just got a 2,300-mile load truck, Monkey Trucking. Y'all keep us rolling. Yeah, and when's that delivered? 2 days, I hope. How many days do you have on the 2,300 miles? Because I've seen an owner-operator out here posted a load. Oh, gosh. What was it? It was 600 or 700, maybe around 700 miles, but it was 3 days on the load. He's like, oh, this load's paying great. I'm like, no, not when there's 3 days on it. It isn't. Then it doesn't, then 280 a mile isn't great when you have 3 days on 700 miles. You got to think about all that stuff. So how long do you two get? 2 days, 2.5 days on this? Well, Bill, my company used to offer a new car every 6 months. Name in a hat to draw a winner. Really? If we could go the entire time with no incidents. No vehicle was ever given out because we could never do it. So does everybody have to go without incidents? See, that's the thing. I don't like that. And they're still giving out that same car, right? You can have this 1988 Monte Carlo LS. How bad are the wildfire, Christina? Bad. Some of the roads are closed. Tons of smoke and stuff. Try not to go out there with loads if you don't have to. Brand, did I hear right? The exemption extended to the end of the year. Yes, food and other emergency products, hand sanitizer. They are giving you exemption until December 31st. So, yep. Dave thinks wasp spray is brilliant. Yeah, there's no reason you couldn't have it in the truck. Bear spray, that would work better. That'd be better. Kangaroo trucker. And you could say, look, I go out west all the time. I've seen bears. So I think that's legitimate. It's not like it's illegal anyway to carry bear spray around. So, thank you very much, Kangaroo trucker. I appreciate it. I got wasp spray too. Used the entire can trying to get this darn fly out of my cab. Yikes. Yikes. And then you're driving around with your windows open. There's just a fog going out of the truck. Yikes. Kangaroo trucker, sorry you're late. In the smoky Southern California between San Diego and Los Angeles, it's not bad down here as far as fires go. I saw that in Portland and stuff, half the town's being evacuated. GP Transco even pays the increments of less than a mile, like 2313.38. There's no reason every company can't do that, right? Door to door. If you can do that on your phone, okay, there's no reason a company can't do that. And that's all it should be. It's not like a driver that is asking for that is saying, oh, I want more than I'm entitled to. This is the miles that you're actually driving, and so that's where you should be paid. I think that's great. Someone wanted my pickup truck. I said no, thought I could take him. Oh, we didn't know he had a gun. I'm glad that turned out at least halfway okay for you. The guy fixing the car is Mr. Goodwrench. He's still fixing the car they're giving away at your place. I don't like inspections. Waste of time makes me feel like they don't trust me to do my job. Luke, well, they get like 1/3 of the people that come in for inspection get a ticket or put out of service. So a lot of people aren't doing their job right. A new car every 5 months, a manager would get hurt. What do you drink? I take water. I take 2 Powerade bottles full of water with me to work. So there's so much BS about laws of trucking. Like here's on, according to drivers, you have to have a white bed sheet. No, you don't have to have white bed sheets. Stupid stuff like that doesn't make sense. This stuff gets set up in rumors and stuff. You don't have to have like a certain color sheet. You do have to have bed sheets. The FMCSA says the bed must have sufficient, I forget how they word it exactly, sufficient sheets for restful sleep, that kind of thing. But they don't really care what they are. They can be SpongeBob. They can be anything you want. It's not the truck drivers. It's the lawmakers that are dumb. Yeah, the ones not driving, like all of them. The Mercury Zephyr, Paul. You can have this 1979 Mercury Zephyr with a straight 6 if you'll just go 6 months without an accident. George Costanza is saying how it's not a real law, but supposedly every truck driver repeats it like it's gospel. I know, these things, one person hears something, like you have to have sheets. Oh, we have to have 300 count white sheets, of Egyptian cotton. That's crazy. And then people talk about it at the counter, and then it gets spread like that. And they're like, well, that's what I heard, so it's true. It's not true. Any color sheet you like having a manual and automatic on your license. Well, you can. There is a restriction. There's an automatic restriction on licenses, so that is actually a thing. Whether the state puts it on seems to be a different thing. Some states are putting it on, some states aren't. I've heard, it goes back and forth like that. So some states might be doing it. As Ronald Reagan said, trust but verify. Exactly. In God we trust. Everybody else needs an ID. Interstate or intrastate in your license, that's stupid. It depends on your age, right? So that's usually an age thing. White sheets, must have read it on the internet, so must be true. Trucker Hershey. Growing up, right? But going through trucking, I do hear that come up every once in a while. Well, what it usually was, what I heard is that, oh, well, you have to have white sheets in case there's an accident and you have to stop and give aid. I'm like, you don't have to stop and give anybody aid. You don't have a duty to give any kind of aid. I can sit there and film you while you die on the street, literally. I mean, you're not required to assist anybody like that. So I'm not required to have any sheets or anything like that. So by any certain color. But that was always the idea, is that somehow some truck driver figured out the dye in like a blue sheet or whatever would come off in somebody's wound. I'm like, no, that's absolutely not true. And I'm always like, well, find that in a green book for me. Oh, well, it's in there. It's in there. I'm like, here's a green book. Go look. Oh, I don't have to look it up. Oh, all right. Mr. Wiener is here. Hello, Mark. Just finished delivering 8 drops in Pennsylvania. Now going back to North Carolina empty. I'm late, but here now listening. I have a Dragon Ball Z bed sheets. All right. Hey, whatever kind of bed sheets, they're not going to say anything about it. Like, you cannot have Dragon Ball Z bed sheets. That's pretty awesome. Al Johns, I'm trying to figure that out myself. Exactly. Owner-operator home daily. There are some of those. I see ads for those. Does it make sense to be an owner-operator and drive locally home every night? I'm in Chicago, so lots of work. It depends what it pays, right? Does it pay more than a company driver? I think it only makes sense to be an owner-operator if you make considerably more than a company driver makes, because that's the risk that you're taking, so you should be rewarded for it. And if you get a reward for it, yeah, absolutely. If that's something you want to do. It's never been my kind of thing, even though it's aggravating sometimes to be a company driver. I don't want to become an owner-operator. I just don't want that risk out of it. But if it's for you and they'll pay you for it, in Chicago, it's all containers probably. Absolutely. A day cab would probably be cheaper too. Go buy yourself a day cab. I prefer a 76 Pacer. I wonder, are they giving that away there? Wow, this 1976 Pacer X. Our vice president of marketing and strategy. Oh, is considering going over the road with a solo driver. I thought as a solo driver. As a rider for a week to get a better feel for the job and make some videos. I think that's a great idea. I don't know why more companies don't have people higher up in the company go out with a driver for a while. And I'll tell you this, I think it should be with the driver that complains the most. Okay? Not the brown-nosed driver that some company, well, look, every company's got brown-nosed drivers. Not with that driver. Find a driver that's complaining and having problems and send him out with that person and say, what's going on here? So that you can fix whatever they're having, problems they're having, and see a different side of it. Because believe me, there's going to be somebody that says, oh, well, I'll take him with me. And be like, hey, it's great here, all the time. That's not who you want to go with. I said, duty. I know. I thought about that in my head. I go, oh, duty again. How about the K car? Dave Johnson, I had a 1982 Plymouth Reliant. Was not a K car because in 82 they removed the K from the car. People don't know that. That's some trucking information. Because they thought it came back towards Kmart, like cheap. But in 83 they put it back on. So my 82 was simply a Reliant. So there you go. If you can remember what Iacocca said, if you can find a better car, buy it. Fleet Nav Systems is here. Hello, everybody. It's good to see you. Didn't get a notice this was live today. I'm sorry. I don't know why that might be. GP Transport, I think all support people should ride at least 2 weeks a year. They seem to not understand what's really doing. That's outstanding. Yeah, look, I think every dispatcher, as part of their training, that ought to ride with a driver. Absolutely. It should be mandatory, a week or two at least every year. It's split up 1 week at a time or whatever. Yeah, certainly. Absolutely. Should be mandatory. And it should be drivers that volunteer. Okay, I don't think it should be forced on a driver to take somebody, but just put out a sign, volunteer. And absolutely. And don't pay the drivers because you'll get people that just do it for the money rather than somebody that wants to do it to make the place better. That's what I think about it. And Misty has Disney Princess sheets because you are one. That's awesome too. No DOT's going to say anything about that, by the way. Mr. Wiener did end up buying that Julia. Well, you can't buy cars here on Sunday. That's partly why I go look at them. But no, there's no Alpha dealer anywhere near here. And so you're going to be at the dealer probably 50% of the time you own the car. They're horrible in reliability. Motor Trend got one, and it had a check engine light on their way home from the dealership when they got the car new, among many other problems. So I did not buy one, although I am considering going to test drive it. And I don't know why they bought it. Why does a Nissan dealer buy that from auction? I don't know. Like a Halo car to bring people in? I guess it worked. I went over there. George Wilson, premium dark roast coffees are the best. I like tea also. I have some tea here. I will do tea sometimes at home. George Costanza, another one I hear all the time is that you can't pass cars on the interstate in Alabama. Truckers can't overtake cars on the left. I kid you not. I heard that Thursday. I've always heard you can't pass on the right. My dad was big on that. Oh, you can't pass on the right lane. I'm like, so if there's somebody in the middle lane, I can't pass them on the right. Oh, no, absolutely not. I'm like, all right, that's the law. Now, what if I honk first? I should have said that. I probably would have got hit. Your VP at GP Transco has his or her heart in the right place. How about, make that mandatory for dispatch, at least during their orientation or whatever. Tell them, look, in your first 30 days or whatever, you'll be required to go out with one of our road drivers for a week and spend a week on the road so you can understand what it is to live on the road. And what that takes. I think they'll have a way better understanding of what's going on. Some of them have no idea. And it's not their fault they don't have any idea. They just don't have any idea of what's happening. Let's see. Where did I go off to? So, okay, right there. It's like, who actually believes this? Oh, drivers believe it. You say something, they believe it. Darnell delivered in Lafayette, Indiana this morning and now headed to Canada. Where'd you deliver in Lafayette? Why is nobody telling me this? I would have gone over there. Where did you deliver in town today? Difference between brown noser and butt kissers is depth perception. Oh, very good. That's a good one. Donkey Bite for coffee. I have an electric tea kettle and use an AeroPress, fast, efficient, and delicious. Wow, that sounds super fancy. Jeffrey Herring is here. Good afternoon. It's good to see you. GP Trenso's copying night. They did all that years ago. Well, did it work? I mean, I don't know about copying. That should have been a policy at every company everywhere. Fleet Nav System is curbing their live stream schedule for a little while to once a month. Once a month? Busy and working to get better content, probably more this shorter edited format now. All right, well, let us know when you will be live. Let's see here. Plymouth Arrow. Love that high school car. Rest of your clothes. All right. Drove an Arrow with the twin stick years ago. Your Arrow had that because it was made by Mitsubishi. I miss Kmart. Used to be a good place to shop. Yep. And now in Lafayette, there's an old Kmart that is like a home incorporated store. And at night, it basically serves as a truck parking lot for 5 or 6 semis that know where it is. Trucker Hershey, most of the dispatchers are overseas. Does anybody do overseas dispatchers? I hear that stuff too, but does that really happen? Hey there, Christina. It's very scary. I hear bears on the radio all the time. Nice. Can't buy cars on Sunday. Cash is King Trucking. Yeah. In this state, in Indiana, you're not allowed to purchase a car on Sunday. That is correct. The dealers are all closed. That's why it's a good day to go look at cars here. And there are a lot of people out cruising around looking at them. No one stopped at the Nissan dealer to look at the Alpha, though, because people probably don't know what it is. Kona, Wayne, buy a Tesla? No, thanks. I'd rather have that Alpha before I'll buy a Tesla. So, no, thank you on the electric car. If they were riding with me, I'd be like, just watch, Al Johns. I think it'd be great. I wish every company did that. I mean, I'd take a dispatcher with me. I had a 1986 Mercury Topaz diesel 5-speed. Oh, that was very unusual. You got nearly 50 on the interstate. Yeah, that little tiny non-turbo diesel in those cars. Oh, they put that also in the Escort, too. Crazy. You should have kept that. Quite an unusual car. Remember this, a Freightliner's a throwaway truck. It's like a Bic lighter. And when the engine has a million miles on it, just throw it away or sell it. It's done. Well, that's a lot of miles, though, right? So, holy mackerel. Let's get rid of it at that time. Volunteer, you might have your wife and kids and 2 dogs on the truck that day. Yeah, it should be somebody with a dog, too, a gigantic dog. Tea, Earl Grey, hot. That's very good. And I do ask for that sometimes, too. I would love to take my little dispatcher out for a week. I would really have fun with him. Yeah, take him. Will they go? Ask them to go. Norman Bates at 65, I don't even try to pass anybody. They have to be going 8 to 10 under. I'll just cruise behind them. You're the only one. Everybody sees this all the time. And so you come up on somebody and there comes some truck, pulls out and just creeping by them. And by the time they pass them, there's 40 million vehicles behind them. What are you doing? And then they get off at the next exit. Come on. Remember the lighter roast, the higher the caffeine? I had no idea about that. Red Monkey Trucking is taking off. Stay safe. It's good to see you here. Thanks for coming in. Ferdinand enjoying the chat. Great all around. I appreciate it. Delivered at Tate and Lyle. Oh, really? All right. Right up the street there. All right. Good morning from Tawny Town, Arkansas. Carlos, hello there. Must be a coincidence that the series the same thing. I don't know about that. Passing left side is the good side, right side is suicide. I know, but my dad suggested like it's illegal. Like you're going on a 3-lane road like up to Dan Ryan where it's, of course it goes up more lanes. You can't pass on any of the right lanes. You can't. I'm like, that's crazy. Hello, Mark from Chicago. Christopher, it's good to see you. Remember I lived at 1800 North Whipple. That Alpha would be a great lease car, Donkey Bite, and I looked up the Carfax on it, and it was a lease. The first person said, I'm leasing it. It has 25,000 miles on it. It's 2 years old. They probably had a 2-year, 24,000-mile lease on it. So, yes, for somebody, it made a great lease car, and it got sold at auction, and the Nissan dealer bought it. So that's correct. It would be a good lease car, but we actually have 2 more years of warranty on it. If you could get a 2-year lease on it, wouldn't be too bad of a deal. Because it has 2 years of factory warranty remaining on it. $450 on Alphas. Keto Walk It Fit. What's happening? Let's see. Have you seen the 2021 Corvette? The first one I saw was a McLaren. I have seen it. It does look a little bit unusual due to them moving the engine placement, which I'm not a fan of. Welcome to my world. Good afternoon, Road Brother. Good afternoon. It's good to see you. Nowadays, you have to pass vehicles in the right lane. Yeah, almost. In Virginia, on 81, slow trucks like holding up the left and middle lane. It's never-ending drag race. I know. Why are we doing this? You come on, I see this all the time, and this happens too. I'll be coming down 70, coming back home, and it says 64 on the display instead of 65. I'm not going to pass this person unless there's all kinds of room back there because holy mackerel. Christopher, I'd rather the McLaren would be also more money for the McLaren. I wonder if they would answer your message faster with office staff on board. Oh, that's interesting too. See, that's the other side of sending somebody with a driver. Would the load change? Is any company going to say, look, this driver, he's got, our dispatcher, whatever, with him, so make sure he gets a lot of loads and doesn't have any problems. So there's always that side of it. Maybe they should go with a random person. Edgar Gomez, hello there. It's good to see you. All fleet trucks are throwaway trucks. That's true. If it's been a fleet truck, you don't know how it was maintained. All company trucks are governed at 65. Some go faster because I get passed a lot. I only pass on and plus, if you buy the truck, you can change the governor all you want once you own the truck, Only pass on the right if someone's going below the speed limit in the middle or left lane. But it happens, especially in a car, where 65 opens to 3 lanes. We get a line of trucks going slow. And it's a 70 for cars, so you're zooming by them on the right lane. 81 in Virginia is a nightmare. It was never good. The Princess of Dixie Hell, it's horrible. Chris Keller, how am I doing? Doing super good today. It's a wonderful day. Any day you wake up is a great day. Big Huge Mike, not the company I work for. We keep them forever. Our trucks are owner up respect. Well, then they like their drivers. All I would really ask for probably is a better seat. I wish all companies would improve the seat situation. Like upgrade to the better seat. Our operations manager is a former driver and dock manager. Still has a CDL. At least 2 of the dispatchers are former drivers. And the safety director is a former driver. And state carrier enforcement. Wow. So you ever worked at a company where people actually know what they're talking about and can drive? They should go take a load every once in a while. The term throwaway to mean you don't rebuild major components. You just sell it. Yeah, that's what most companies do. I totally agree with you. They just buy a bunch of trucks. They go, give us 100 of these fleet trucks. And then they just throw them away when they have problems or whatever. For the price of McLaren, you can get a Corvette, a Tahoe, and a Sonic. Yeah, right. You can have extra cars when that one's not working right. Christopher, LA is a nightmare. They actually did some kind of study and said the roads in Maryland were the most congested roads as a state, which I thought was pretty interesting. Is bottled water still an exempt load? If it was exempt before, it's exempt now. They just continued the exemption. I personally would consider that groceries. It's going to a grocery store or whatever, so I think so. It's just groceries, so I barely have enough room for me and your pup. I don't need my dispatcher to ride along. Wouldn't it be great, though, to have the dispatcher and he's got to sit there and listen to you all day? Al Johnson, drives you batty to be driving a truck back to the terminal and have a car doing 55 and a 70. Why does this happen? I see this all the time. I've come up on cars at night. They're going 55, 60, 62 at night. Let's get going. You got a car. Come on. Donkey Bite, what major fleet has the lowest turnover? With that being a metric of a good company, I think it would. Most of the places don't release their turnover, or if you call them, they go, oh, we don't know what it is. So I don't know. A lot of fleets, once they get into the thousands, 2,000, 3,000 trucks, their turnover gets pretty high. Anything that's in less than 100 seems to be good in the industry anymore. The company I work for will rebuild it if it needs. We have a few going through that now. So they keep their trucks forever. Well, if it's rebuilt, though, it's going to be brand new. Trucker Hershey, no room for another person in my truck. I'd make room for a dispatcher to have to sit there and listen to me for a whole week. Oh, my gosh. Found one on the load board, $1,200 for 200 miles for tonight. That's pretty good. If it delivers tomorrow, Lola Paw, comfy seats is nice until hour 10.5 on Driveline. Well, I'm just saying that's better than having a horrible seat after, 10 and a half hours. Where do you work where dispatchers are former drivers? You shouldn't be a safety supervisor unless you have 1 million accident-free miles. George Costanza. Look, I tell them that all the time. The people at safety, why aren't they drivers? How are they telling any driver how to drive when they have no idea what they're talking about? $5.97 a mile. Yeah, that would be pretty good. Big Huge Mike would love a better seat. That's what I'm saying. Chris Keller, instead of a Corvette, get a Challenger or a Charger. 707 horsepower, rear-wheel drive V8. Yeah, you'd get more room in it, certainly. Then they're giving $10 off per horsepower, if you saw that. I just had Governor off my 2015 Cascadia. It still won't keep up with our Pete's, but at least I could take the bag off my head now, Greg. Yes, you don't have to be embarrassed anymore. When they're doing 55 minutes, 70, I just assume they're high. They might be, especially on 70. Hey, Mark, when I worked, all dispatchers must have a CDL. Great idea. Yeah, that's a great idea. Make them at least go through truck school and go get a CDL. If nothing else, they should have to go with a driver every year. Maybe a week in the spring and a week in fall, or a week in the winter, something like that. Whichever driver's having the most problems. George Wilson, when I was on the Best Buy account, I had Paul Grain ride with me to Cedar Rapids and the Rockford, Illinois store. I don't know who he is. I assume he's somebody big at Best Buy. Saw same last week, 200 miles, $1,000. Had to be delivered same day. Well, that's great. Okay, now we're talking. Same day delivery like that? 81's terrible on Sundays. I go through there 4 times a week. Mr. Wiener, time to move. Time to move to Wyoming. George Costanza, I asked my company if I could get an exception to the policy to take out my passenger seat. Still holding my breath. Running out of air. So is the seat already out, or do you want the seat to be taken out? Because I only had one company where I didn't have a passenger seat. Michael Brockington. Hello, Mark. Great job. Oh, thank you. 6 p.m. to 4 Kroger. So it's got a lot of stops on it. So Cash is King Trucking is probably already searching for that load right now. Throwaways are good trucks waiting for a good mechanic. If you can break it, I can fix it. I got a deal on mine because thought the block was gone. Just a seal. I don't know. Some company trucks are not taken care of. Would that be worth buying? Like, I've had an issue here where I couldn't get the truck in for a service. I call them and they're like, we're busy, because they got a little sticker. And I go, well, what are you going to do? He goes, we'll call you when we have time to get it in. I go, fine, whatever. And it was another, I don't know, couple months before he called me back. He goes, did they ever get that truck? I go, nope. Oh, you should have called us. I go, it's your truck. You figure it out. And I was way over. It was, I don't know, 80,000 miles on that oil change. And they just put down in the service record, I'm sure, that it's serviced on time. So I don't know. Would you buy that? It's like, would you go buy a car that's been 2 years on an oil change? I don't know. Sitting at home waiting for dispatch, Roger Penske. All right. Well, who do I drive for? Well, for new people on the show, which I do every Monday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and sometimes start early if I have a stream problem, I don't say where I work for, and that keeps them out of my videos. So many people out there have their companies and bothering them in their videos. Also, I don't recruit for the company, so let them go find their own drivers, and I think that's the best way to do it. Big Country Catfish, and I've been at Schuster a month now. Seems like a pretty good company. All right, I know there are several people on here at Schuster, and I'm glad you're having a good situation there. Oh, wow, Bill, thank you very much. For the first time, saw on GP Teal Kenworths. I saw they had a video about it, but there's been a video about them, and you like them, so that's pretty good. I wonder why are they switching to Kenworths? Just can't get the Cascadias anymore. Cash is King Trucking. I'll let the dispatch ride with me if I was a company driver. They'd have to bring their own pee bottle. Oh, tell them, bring your own bottles. That's good. My DM ignores my calls, doesn't even call back, so I'm always using my Qualcomm. Well, that's better, I guess. Then you get it in writing. I'm on a load that's 3,000 miles. I won't be home when requested. I think she hates me for no reason. Get a new dispatcher. Call the company. Go up. If you have a DM, you have somebody higher than that, say, hey, they won't talk to me. I need somebody else. So I got to go work somewhere else. I mean, just get somebody else if they don't care. Just got a new truck, have heated and cooled seats. Nice. If you don't think, you're a savage. Right, I love it. Donkey Bite. Why don't we have that in all of our trucks? Oh, that would be so great. I mean, if we can get this in a car, we can have this on a truck. What's the top 4 mega carrier turnover? Oh, 100% or more. I'll post the videos of the archaeological evidence to your website. All right. Have you ever gotten in trouble for standing your ground to a trucking company? They gripe at you all the time, but not really. Because, look, the thing is they just want you to back down. You just have to stand up to them on stuff, you know. I want the seat to be taken out. I want to put a kennel there instead. Okay. And they won't do it? Probably because they don't know what to do with the seat. If Larry Mouse becomes a dispatcher, I don't work there in a zillion of miles. That'd be great. I think dispatchers should be required to hit the road for 4 weeks, then have to ask to come home and you should get the dispatcher home late, and take 2 to 3 weeks to get him home, and have 6 days off before reporting back to work. Oh, that'd be great. Cassius King's already done 3 stops today. That's not unusual, but, by 1 p.m., he's going to do 7 more. Paul Grain is one of the owners of Grain Transportation. Oh, okay. So it was from the trucking company side. That's pretty good. So I wouldn't know it. The person came down. I'm like, who are you? Right. Columbia, Georgia, my company is considering a program for training current non-driving employees to get a CDL and become company drivers. My dispatcher would have his eyes open so much if he did. Yeah. Ironically, then they'll have the dispatchers take everybody's job. A lot of the mega fleets are buying trucks that are different colors now so they don't look like a plain white fleet truck and they sell better on the used market. Well, GP Transco said they were going to start selling some of their teal trucks that had come in, and they're going to report back with if the trucks brought more money. And I'm curious to know, do other colored trucks than white bring more money? I always thought white ones would do good on the used market because then you can just put stickers or whatever on them and nobody thinks anything about it. By the way, the most bought car color is still white as well. And I don't know, part of that might be fleets. They should take out the passenger seat and leave a bench and put a built-in fridge. That'd be a good idea. Gear Jammer, your dad owned 6 GMC Astros back in the 70s. Everybody on the highway could see you scratch. Yeah, exactly. The windshield went down to your feet, basically. Oh, yeah. Good visibility for out and in. All right, Drummer's going to start GP Transco next Monday. Thanks for the info. All right, let us know how it goes, and I want to know what color truck you get. What's the best carrier to work for now, Christopher? It depends on you. A lot of that depends on you. Where I work, people come and quit. And, where everybody else works, I might go there and I might quit. So it just depends what you want. What do you want out of driving? GP only ordered a handful of Kenworths for teams. I just wonder why they're changing truck models. By the way, some of your videos are used in orientation. That's pretty good. Really? I appreciate that. Tell them thank you. Longest I've been out there, I've been 5 months on the road. I spent 5 months one time on the road. I left after Christmas. I didn't come home until a little after Memorial Day. I've gotten dispatcher fired from the job because of their ignorance. I wish I could do that. We all wish we could do, get a couple of them fired. We're not switching to Kenworths. We're just trying some out to see how they perform. Sometimes it's fun to say, what the heck, let's try something new. Okay, well, that's interesting. I always figured companies, especially fleets where you see all the same kind of truck, make it easier for parts and for mechanics. Because if you have your own mechanics, then they have to learn a totally different kind of truck. So that's why I figured fleets buy one kind of truck for the mechanics. I told them I would store the seat at my house, which means I'm going to put it in my storage unit. That's where the mattresses are. And what do they think about that? Probably not much. Plain white trucks, yeah. Student wishes a fast truck. Yeah, exactly. Swift is buying all blue from what I've seen. They changed their color to that blue color. If I was a lawyer and suing a trucking company, I would absolutely look at what their maintenance standards are. It would seem like that would be a problem, right? But the thing is, since they do the maintenance themselves, all they got to do is fill another sheet out that says, okay, oil change at this day or whatever, service. So looking at their maintenance records doesn't necessarily mean anything. When you go to buy the truck on the market, every used truck you look at always says, was fleet maintained or whatever. That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't necessarily mean anything. Some drivers won't even tell the shop that, it needs service. They just keep driving it until somebody figures it out. So that's always the problem. You just never know how it was maintained. Some of our old Volvos had back massaging seats. I have that button in the seat now. It's got a seat massager things. I tried it a couple times. I don't like it. It doesn't work good. Drummer to driver, you've seen a lot of teal trucks lately? I haven't seen any of those. I keep seeing that white Volvo. They must be on some kind of dedicated run. We can't post your to your Facebook site, so go ahead and post the video series yourself. We're able to view them yourself on that email I sent. I didn't check email today yet. Monday, I'm doing this in the mornings. Yeah, I saw a couple gray Swiftleaf trucks. Really? Friends let friends share pee bottles. Donkey bite. Yeah, why wouldn't you let the guy share? He's in your truck. I mean, that's what friends are for. Oh, you got to tell the dispatcher about team showers. First time he gets in the truck. Now he goes, when there's two of us, we still got to use one shower. Let's see it. Let his eyes light up with that. Oh, my gosh. Red, white, and blue with a pepper of black are the bread and butter of truck colors. Yeah, mostly white ones. Sierra England tried those new Western Star Highway units. I saw those, Chris. They're listing them for around $40,000 with 400 horse Detroits and autos. But you can probably bump the engine, and that's not bad. But we don't know how they maintained it. Big Country Catfish. And I heard the Kenworth at GP for team drivers. Plus, do they have dispatchers in Lithuania? I don't know. I haven't called any other dispatchers. As long as they do a good job, really, I personally wouldn't care where they are. I'm taking out my passenger seat so my wife doesn't ask to go with. She doesn't understand how to be on time. Forget that. It's on time or nothing. With trying to fit in 14 stops a day, it's, you got to be on time. We have 2 new T880 day cabs with an MX-13. Wow. And a 10-speed manual. They've been pretty reliable. That's unusual. What do you think of that MX-13 in a day cab? Because, I have a DD-15 in a day cab at $425. Alexander, it's nice to be able to decline loads as a company driver. I don't want to go to North Carolina. Oh, they'll let you turn that down too, right? Couldn't you put a spot or something? I forget how they did that there. Where you don't want to go. I have over 20 years experience. I lost weight. What more do companies want you to do? I need your card and I'd still be driving a truck. Yeah, I don't ask your doctor, right? Ask him if the purple pill's right for you. Who do you drive for, Doug? Yeah, I just went over that. Right, we're out of that one. We do have some dispatchers in Europe. I love it. Great band, too. Got a poster hanging in the back room. To me, fleet maintained is negative unless I know the fleet. Cash is King Trucking. I know, because each fleet has their own maintenance schedule. And to say it's fleet maintained, you have no idea how many drivers drove it. Do they check it every day? Is it ever checked? What did it get in an accident that they fix it themselves? You don't have any idea. It's kind of like buying a used car. It's a toss-up. Maybe if it had a warranty, it'd be a better deal. Maybe the maintenance done should be entered into a national database that show records. Easy to do. Keto, like Carfax for trucks. It should be, but it isn't, as far as I know. So it's just their say-so on it. At least on Carfax, on cars, because I get an email every month. Here's your Carfax. So I don't know why. They did it part of buying a car or whatever. So I was looking there, and it shows all the maintenance that's been done on the car. Here, we put these tires. I just had tires put on. We did all this stuff, so I don't know why it can't be done with a truck. My dispatcher's is in Europe. Good guy, Kelly. All right. Look, as long as he's doing his job and keeps you rolling, I'm in. I saw most of them on the way to Houston from Nashville. Oh, so that's the thing. They're always west of me. The company, Mr. Wiener, the company you work for doesn't own trucks, but they own their trailers. We get all our trucks through Penske and Salem, whatever that is. But they come fully loaded with a fridge, microwave, keyless entry, and remote start. That's in a semi? That's pretty good. I've never had a company truck with keyless or a remote start, certainly. I've had a fridge, no microwave either. Had to bring your own. Sierra England, they have manuals, 10 speeds? Really? Cassius King probably has a stolen load board from a truck stop in his cab. I know. That's how he keeps getting all those stops. It's mandatory to wash your truck at least once a week. Mr. Wiener, so some places like that are once a week. I know at least at the TMC video, it said we wash our trucks every week. I remember watching that guy. But it's mandatory every 2 weeks, so which are not, because that was going to be the question in my comments, had he allowed the comments, is are drivers paid for all these mandatory road washes they have to do? And I was going to see the answer, but they've got no-go zones, but I'm on the Midwest fleet, so I'm supposed to stay in the Midwest. I'd like to know, what do they consider Midwest? I want a map. I'd say, where exactly is the line of Midwest? And I don't think North Carolina would have been terrible, at least personally for me. If you don't want to go, I get it, but that's not a horrible load. I wish I could take my dogs with me, but I got 2 Great Danes. It's going to be hard to find a company that'll let you bring 2 Great Danes with you. Holy mackerel. And is that great for them to be in a truck all day? I mean, they're huge. Can we say what we want about TMC, but they got nice trucks? I wouldn't work there. They do. Look, there's no question about that. Trucks are nice, kept clean. Put your name on it, which they commented in their video. Absolutely agree with that. Load draws tight. They keep their drivers, with good tarp loads. Have all these tarps flapping around. Yeah, but look, same thing at Western. Like Western, the one in Colorado. Do they not have nice trucks? They have great trucks, but 30-some cents a mile with experience, not happening. But yeah, they have great trucks. That's true. That is true. We use them for an on-site mixer trucks, and they're fine local. They're rated for 455. Oh, so they're cranked up. A little gutless compared to others, but it's better than the 2013 with the D13, which is a Volvo engine. Yeah, so they cranked that one up in there. Truck facts. I love it. Alexandria. Yeah, let's get that started. Why isn't there a truck facts? So you can just type in the VIN. Why doesn't Carfax just get on this? It's just a VIN number. JB's not going to tell you he's working for me. Yikes. Not only do my new trucks have heat and cooled seats, they can also operate cruise control, jake brake, and radar from the steering wheel. That's pretty common. And all the fleets are garbage, and I despise you. I can do that stuff from the steering wheel. Okay, the radio gets operated on there. I could switch over to podcasts from the steering wheel. The cruise control, all that's operated on the steering wheel. That I can do that. Right. Arthur's been driving near 65 years and approaching 1 billion miles. I assume you drive for KLLM, and you're still only the number 4 driver there. So, Big Huge Mike is going to hit a shower. Enjoy the rest of the day on the motorcycle. All right, that's awesome. What are we driving out there? Good week. You'll be listening. Thanks for being here. I'd like a leather swivel seat. Yeah, why doesn't it swivel around too? I like a cloth seat for that long, but any pro tips when looking for a new company? Yeah, if you go to truckinganswersnation.com, I have a bunch of questions there for you to think about, because you need to think about what is important to you. I mean, what are the things that are important to you? How often do you want to be home? It's your money, use it when you want. But seriously, where do you want to go in the country? Like, do you not want to go to New York City? Do you want to go over all the country? Do you want to have a flatbed? Do you want to be home every day? Do you want to spend a month on the road? All that stuff matters to you and your situation. How much do you want to make? Do you want to do a bunch of stops, or do you want a bunch of long loads? So you got to figure all that out. And I always tell people, write all this stuff down in advance so you can ask each company that you call the exact same question and get an answer from them. Is insurance important to you? Right? Is that very important? And if it is, what kind of insurance do they have? How much does it cost? What does it cover? So it's not just, the new company, but it's you personally finding a company that's a fit for you and a fit for the company, and then you both prosper. You'll stay, they'll make money, you'll make money, everybody will be happy, and then you don't have to keep, finding 7 different companies to use or whatever. If they did a truck fax, they would just enter they did it. Paul Harris. Well, I don't know. People don't do it with their car, right? I mean, a few days after I go to the dealer, it's on the Carfax, to get any work done or whatever. So I don't know if they can enter it themselves. They might. I guess there's probably a way to game the system. Already completed 3 stops and 4 live streams at Cash is King Truck did. Yeah, exactly. And it's early still. And he's on Central Time. Keenan Advantage services the crap out of the truck. Seems like every week they pull me in for PM Darnell. Well, you got to go somewhere that's got longer service intervals. Yeah, but see, so they're taking advantage of their trucks. I think at some point that's too excessive. That's just too excessive, but I agree. Depends if they're going to keep them past warranty. If you're going to keep the truck past warranty, maybe. If you're going to keep it only for warranty, then I would only do the service according to the owner's manual and no more. I was never impressed with dispatchers that drove when they crossed over to management side. They completely change and forget their routes. Oh, absolutely. We have that problem here? Absolutely. As soon as you find out they're working in the office, boom, it's like they never drove. And you're an idiot and just get to work. I'm like, what the heck are you talking about? Anything between Colorado and Chicago should be the line for the Midwest. I can't remember. Oh, I would say what? Well, from where they are, line, Wyoming, Utah line straight down there, and I don't know, Ohio, Pennsylvania line and straight down there might be Midwest. Used to wash my truck off and lived in Florida. My right truck would turn black with bugs. Yuck. They wash them every 2 weeks here. You'll also go to Texas and Pennsylvania if needed. All right. Yeah, Texas, right. Taylor trucks are much nicer than TMC. Each truck is custom built. Well, I don't know. I haven't seen their trucks, but TMC does have nice trucks. There's no question about that. I always ask every TMC driver I go by on the CB if he made his bed today. He probably thinks you're somebody that's going to go tell on him. That's the problem there. There's one for trucks, Rig Dig. Really? Carfax should just be on this. They already have the whole system set up. Kelly, I live so close to the Pacific Ocean, everything is pretty Midwest. Anything for you, all your loads are going east. Know that it's stock from the dealer. Small company bought them new with the 455. The Packard MX-13 is offered 405 to 510. That's a really crank, right? And no governor. That's even better. A huge downfall working for a mega carrier is the majority of the drivers care less about keeping the trailers inspected, needless to say keeping repairs done, which can cost you money. Yes. And the problem with the drop and hook place, which I find this a lot, you'll pick up a trailer that has flats or lights out because the drivers have zero incentive to do anything about it. It's just about moving freight at companies, not about, maintaining equipment or anything like that. So I agree. Land Air Safety Manager drove daily. That's good. Rig Dig is a semi-Carfax. I never heard of it. 65 years, 120,000 a year, 7.8 million. How many miles did this 65-year driver do? At KLLM, you're able to get more miles because A company, a quality high-tier company like KLLM is able to give their drivers more miles than your average run-of-the-mill 120,000-mile-a-year company. That's how it works there. Todd Heifels here. It's Todd on your way to Tupelo. Hello there. Does anyone have any comments about working for Saia as a pickup and delivery driver? Well, once in a while we get Saia drivers on here. A lot of people do like it. Got to head out. Good to see you. Drive safe. We'll see you next week. Thanks for being here, Fleet Nav Systems. And I would say, I guess Fleet Nav is going to be, I already had this. No one alerted me. Tuesday, 3 p.m. Are you going to be on this Tuesday at 3 p.m.? Not sure. Not sure. We'll see what they say about that. Maybe. Keenan tries to go for $1 million on their trucks as long as they take care of them. There it is. It's called Rig Dig. Maybe people that buy trucks know anything about it. Do the dealers give you this when you buy a truck? It's a beautiful and smoky morning here in eastern Washington, I bet. TMC's governed to 62. One exhaust is fake. Oh, really? No hood mirrors because he doesn't like the look. Cab is too small. Really? I never noticed that. So there's no hood mirrors on a TMC truck? It seems like there's another thing, like somebody said earlier, for a lawyer. In an accident, this driver hit my client because there's no mirror. They're purposely not put on. They have a safety device that they purposely don't use. It seems like that could be used maybe as a lawyer. I don't know. The 60-year driver response, yeah. Thanks, Mark. Have a good week, Kevin. All right. Well, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Let's see here. Rates. Right. Okay, van 211. I got vans. Reefer 228 and flats were 210. I don't usually see. I don't know about never. Vans have a higher rate than flats. You know, we talked about this last week too, which was that hair and urine tests. And a number of people suggested that the hair test cost more. So I looked it up, and that the urine, one of them cost more. Anyhow, I looked up the prices. All right. So I'm finding urine tests $30 to $60 each, and hair tests are $125 to $150 each. Darker hair gives you more likelihood to get a positive and more likelihood to get a false positive because apparently the melanin in darker hair binds more with drugs and can bind with chemicals in the air and stuff and give more likely to be a false positive. And let's see, and just hair tests in general overall give more false positives than urine tests. So that I thought that was pretty interesting. And I was looking that up. And don't forget, if you wear it, of course, make it a parrot naturally. Let's see here. Oh, I have this new one here. Don't forget about Great Plains. How about that? How about that salary pay? Salary pay? Who does that? Free groceries. They get you started at Great Plains. How about that? Bonuses. Oh, yes. Always call GP Transco. They're hiring as well, right? Be treated like a professional in a teal truck. And Napa. How about that? Napa. They have know-how. Yes, know-how. Cassius King Trucking is probably live again. How about that? Yep. He's already live. He's gone live 3 times since I started. Sierra England issued a stop payment on its reality check. That's very good. That's very good. Keeping trucks for 1 million miles sounds like a good way to spend $1 million on maintenance. GP Transco, right? It's always a risk, right? Just like your car. There are people that do 200,000 miles on their car without a problem, and then there are people like me that put 7,000 miles on a car and it's in for an engine. You just never know. Part of it is you just don't know. But I agree with you. Keeping them too long, you end up with more maintenance. More maintenance. It seems like to me, especially if you don't maintain them good to start with. You go in these extended oil changes and never change stuff. Absolutely. It's got the same plugs in it all these miles. I have a friend that lost a job because some of the medications he was taking. Harold, why do companies and government care so much about what happened days or months ago? They should focus on drunk drivers. Well, look, I'm not an expert in the drug thing there, but medications that are prescribed shouldn't make you lose your job, the way I understand it. You might temporarily not be allowed to drive because you're on something that makes you tired, or something like that. But the way I understand it, is that if it's a prescription that you're allowed to take, you shouldn't be losing your job over it. I was talking to a company, they did both hair and urine, Paul Harris. That's true. A lot of companies, especially, ATA companies, which is surprising since they're against the mandatory hair policy, are doing both tests. Hair goes back as far as your hair is long. So the thing I read said about a half an inch a month. That's what they suggested. So, if you had 6 inches of hair, you could have go back a year. In fact, some people, like Wild Bill, your hair, they would go back on your hair to like 2nd grade. So, but the longer hair is, the farther it goes back. Yep. Christopher, he doesn't drive his own truck and he doesn't like mirrors on the hood. He's not a safety conscious person. Yeah, I don't drive and I don't want you to have a mirror. I don't want you to do something safe. I don't know how long it's been with mirrors. A long time when those came out. The hair color thing is a fact. That's why I dye mine gray. Plus, the ladies seem to like it. Yes, it works good. It looks natural. And they actually said that dyed hair you can't test it because it has dye in it and stuff, and that can skew the results. So that's an interesting thing to do. That's why, we'll all be out here with green hair soon. Looking at a TMC truck right now in the Love's parking lot, no hood mirrors. Yeah, so I never noticed that, I guess. No hood mirrors. I'll tell you what, that's the first thing I'll tell my lawyer if one of their trucks ever hits me. Hey, they purposely don't put mirrors on their trucks. So absolutely. And you should do the same. Teal is not guaranteed. That's true. You go to GP Transco, teal color is not guaranteed. Some drivers apparently call there and say, I guarantee they'll get a teal colored truck. I don't. I don't know what color truck you'll get. I don't decide what truck you're going to get there. I didn't know CR England, Charles, dealt in reality. They didn't when I drove for them. They are in their own world, and it's all run by their own family. Would you recommend being trained by a super trucker who uses paper logs? Yeah, you know what? I think it wouldn't be a bad idea to learn how to use a paper log because if your ELD goes out, you have to use paper logs. So you should know how to use a paper log because you'll have to fill out, your last week of logs should your ELD fail or for some other reason not work that day. So yeah. Paul Harris, this guy trucks personal car, hasn't changed his oil yet, just adds oil. I've had cars. Look, I had a Chevy, a 71 Chevy that I paid $200 for, and it took a quart or so a week of oil, leaked most of it out. And I figured, why change the oil? Every once in a while, I just spin a new filter on it. There's no point in changing it. Yeah. Got another couple of do you test hair for drug solid candidates. That's great. Do not ask a potential employer about their drug testing policies. You will probably not be hired. So they're like, you're not going back too far on the drug test, are you? Did you hear a razor in the background? If you say yes, you hear the razor shaving everything. I mean, do not ask about that stuff. Don't do drugs. How about that? Nancy Reagan said that correctly. Just say no. Just say no to that. You don't have your mask on, Mark. You don't have your mask, Mark. Exactly. Well, of course, I'm more than 6 feet distant from others, so I'm keeping that happening here, so no problem. My buddy found out the hard way that Sudafed shows up as cocaine in a urine test. Lost a union job because of it. Really? Well, I think personally that would be a false positive. Sudafed's legal, right? Or was legal in over-the-counter flu medication? I don't like the whole false positive thing. There's no reason to lose your job over it. I love my right side hood mirror for odd angle left turns. I use them all the time. I cannot imagine a company didn't have them. I never even noticed they're not on there. I eat rolls of poppy seeds every day, and if I fail a drug test for marijuana, poppy fails you for what? Cocaine or something like that, right? Oh, smiles are guaranteed. Teal isn't. That's correct. And so now you may get a Kenworth too if you come in with a friend. So there's also that. But also not guaranteed. Hood mirror also good for pulling out of angled parking. Like at some rest areas. Yeah. Look, I think we should all put them on our cars. I'm going to put one on the hood of the Sonic. Do you think electric trucks are going to take over, Harold? Someday. Someday, long in the future, far, far away, they'll be mostly electric vehicles. But the infrastructure's not there to charge, hundreds of thousands of trucks. The time it takes to charge them, no way. It's a long time. I think most everybody watching this will be retired or close to it before there's even a close to a majority of electric trucks. And the first thing they'll do will be local routes in the South. Beer, those trucks that have the sliding doors on the side, that's perfect for them. They can go back to their terminal and refuel. Local containers, stuff like that, but locals in bigger cities, over the road, it is a long time. The Big John, the real Big John Trucking, as opposed to the fake Big John Trucking. Hey, Mark, I applied to Colonial Freight Systems. Anybody here from CFS? Hey, Mark, I have a Hyundai Sonata with 250,000 miles. That's pretty good. You got 243,000 miles farther than my car did before it needed an engine. So that's a lot of miles on a 12. My 13 Sonic only has 63,000 miles on it. GP Transco went out, and I bought that thing with 40,000 miles in 2014. So there you go. When I was at CF, some of those old Freightliner cabs had over 2 million miles, and they never retired of George Wilson. But how much did they actually spend fixing those? I mean, CF was not known for its high-end equipment, to say the least. Brother Mike, check out West Watson. If everybody got on West Watson's program, none of us would need to worry about DOT physicals. What is West Watson's program? Got a false negative on my last follicle test. Did you alert them? I believe this negative is false. Hair follicle. Alexandra, can you get any color over here? You can get any color you want as long as it's burgundy. Yeah, they don't have any white trucks, so at least they all look the same. Can't wait to see the articles on how drug testing is racist. Donkey bite. Look, I thought about that. I didn't mention that, but I thought, melanin in the hair. I thought, so more people, and that is actually, that's actually legitimate though on this one. So the more melanin you have in your hair, that's what it said. Darker hair with more melanin gives you more positives because drugs and chemicals in the air bind better with the melanin. That's what it said. Now, I'm not a scientist. I don't know. So it would stand to reason that people with more of it would get more positives. And so that's not right. If people are legitimately getting false positives because of something they can't control, then they shouldn't do the testing. So I think that we can all agree with that. When I applied to GP, I was having problems giving urine samples, not enough fluid. So I offered a blood test. Did they offer it or did you offer it? Kelly, what they do here, which, if they call you for a random, you may not realize that you got to go over there. You have to go over there immediately or whatever. And so they'll make you just sit there. They'll just sit you there and say, here's some water, whatever. It depends on the state if they require color of the bed sheets, like Connecticut required white sheets. No. But I think they repealed that law. I never heard that. People always talked about it. I looked it up, could never find it. There's no reason to require it, and so I was never able to find it anyway. It always was one of those things in trucking that I could never find anything out about. The theory always was that you need the white sheets in an accident, like you're going to go assist in an accident, which you don't have to do. Panama Jack, rule of thumb, stay away from companies who want to do hair follicle tests, sleep apnea, and weightlifting tests. Crazy. Weightlifting. Oh, right. Where you do like a physical capacities test. That's what they call it. They give you this physical capacities test at some companies, and then they don't do any. You don't do anything. You're like, and then, our policy, you don't unload the truck. So can you go unload these physical things? No. Another great question. How far back do you look for violent crimes on the record? Let's say, he goes, say a friend of mine beat up his dispatcher and got arrested. How long back do you look on that stuff? I mean, what are people thinking? They got a call from another number with a different name. The hood mirror allows you to see all of their adjusted correctly. I don't know why they wouldn't have them. Captain Flatbed, hello. Have you been seeing a rise in claims at all lately? What claims? How many quarts per mile did your Chevy 71 Chevy get? That car for $200 ran pretty good for a couple of years. The air conditioning worked in it. Now, the spare tire was in the back seat because the trunk was rusted out. You could see through it. So that's what you get for $200. I put 2 tires on it when I got it, so the car was basically totaled when I bought it. But otherwise, that car ran pretty good. It used everything, really. You had to fill the transmission up. The differential leaked. You had to get under there and fill that up all the time. But otherwise, it did good. I probably spent hundreds of dollars on fluids. Just did a drug test on Wild Bill. He had fun 70s. I know. I had a poppy seed bagel. The company ghosted me. Never heard from them after the test. Really? I wonder if you would... is that really true? I mean, that could be on your record. Troy, thanks for keeping drama off this channel. I try to stay drama free. Believe me, there's plenty of that on YouTube. I don't want any part of it. There's enough in drama in trucking without drama between truckers. I mean, oh my gosh. Has a lawyer ever asked you to be an expert witness? No, they have not. I probably would do it. I've been on a jury. I've been on a felony jury trial, which was almost 3 years ago. I thought that was pretty interesting. Trucker Hershey, I saw Tesla charging center at a truck stop. No cars there. The one at Meyer, we have one at Meyer, so I see it a couple times a week. There's usually 1 or 2 Teslas there. Maybe a few of them there every once in a while. It's never full. I think there's 12 spots there. It's never been full. There's a few people sitting there, and you see them sitting there playing games or whatever while they charge their car for 45 minutes. Eddie, hey, what's going on? D-Boy611, hood mirrors on a Sonic. Good look. I think it'll look good. I think you put them out there, and I'm going to get those big ones like you used to put on a 73 Country Squire for pulling a trailer. When you put those out there, I think those are going to be, that's going to be the way to do it. Harold, any thoughts on Martin? Yeah, I always liked Martin. I've done a video about them. They have guaranteed detention time, so yeah, absolutely. GP Treads go, we'll take your blood. Yeah, it's crazy. Blood test. Did they offer the test, though? That's what I'm wondering. Have a great day. Got to get back to the grind. Keto walk, get fit. Thanks for being here. Henry scored. I got to email you a picture of a Prime trailer. It has best fleets of 2019. About to split my roller wiener cola all over the dash. Yeah, they were voted best fleets to drive for or whatever in 2019. Who are they asking? They ask everyone who's never worked there and the dispatchers. Apparently, Kelly, the urine test was already paid for and could not be changed. Oh, so you finally got it done. Just took a couple hours. Been working for them for a few months now. Huh. All this, they go, it's prepaid. You're going to have to stay there. Do you ever drive in Joliet? I've been through Joliet when I lived up there. I don't now. I have a 208,000 miles on my 99 Volkswagen Passat 5-speed. It struggles when starting on hills. I think it needs a new fuel filter. Luke, see, you're all doing it way better than me. Here, I think, I'll buy a new car so I don't have problems, and now it's in the shop getting an engine. So there you go. Christopher, I think it's 10-year DAC, but don't quote me. 10 years for an old criminal record. I just wouldn't ask a company. Hey, how far back do you go on this? You got to either find out on the website or get your friend's phone and call them with a fake name or something like that. Because once you ask them, I mean, you're finished. They're going to write that phone number down and you're done. So, that's crazy. Do you believe they're going 55 miles an hour to get an extra $1,000 a month is worth the hassle? No, I don't think so. I think it's unsafe. I've always maintained that all traffic should go the same speed. Cars, trucks, everybody. Because the interactions of the vehicles is where accidents happen from every test. So all vehicles should be going the same speed. Going slower like that so you can get more money is unsafe for everyone else. I've seen that come in email. So those Tesla charging stations are getting charged for free? No, they do not. Depending on when you bought the Tesla, let's put it that way. For a while, people that bought Teslas got lifetime free charging. Then I think with the Model 3, you have to pay so much. It's still cheaper than filling it with gas, no question about that. But a lot of people do get it free. And that's why everybody, because as soon as you buy a Tesla, you have to start putting out 3 videos a week about how great the car is. And so everybody in there puts their code. Hey, if you're going to buy a Tesla, use this code because you get like 1,000 miles of charging, but so does the person on the video. It's kind of like truck drivers who always recruit for their company. And if you really like the car, or your company, I don't really have a problem with it, but that's why they do it. So the new Teslas do not charge free, but the older ones do. So if you buy a used one that has that free charging, you still get it from what I understand. Before you know it, everyone will be walking around with shaved heads. I know, or colored hair. Because it did say that the dye is a problem. That's how companies will know you're on drugs. You come in and you look like you're ready to do a cross-country swim meet. You're like smooth. Smooth. Let's see where I go here. I took driver's ed in high school, and they told us that Tennessee required you to render aid if you're on a first added accident. You don't have to. Darnell. I know from friends of mine that are attorneys that said that you're never required. You're not required to take action. So a duty, and you're going to have to, it's not legal advice. You'll have to ask a lawyer, but you don't have a duty. And I said duty again, to do anything. You don't have a duty. I don't have to go. What if I don't know anything about first aid? So what if I kill somebody? I take them out of a car and move them around and kill them. I go, well, I don't know. I don't know how to do anything. Right. So you don't have to take any kind of action. $63,000 on a Sonic isn't bad. Too bad they're hastily built. Yeah, I've had little problems with this one. It just got tires a couple weeks ago. Do you believe they're going 55 miles an hour getting extra is worth it? No. Let's see. I wonder if the Tesla semi-truck charging station would have a cord for each side. Oh, that'd be something. They're going to have to figure out it'll be a pull-through kind of thing, and the initial ones will be at companies. They'll have to build their own because it'll be local trucks, and you'll just charge it up when you get back. Trucking answers, if you're near Joliet, we can do some basketball. GP Transco. Well, that would be a sight for sore eyes. I got to make sure there's no cameras in there for that. Holy mackerel. How long do you look at ball arrows? How long do you look at murders? Can you check with your people and call me back? How far those go back? When I went back to school, I had to do a urine test, and I couldn't go because I just went 20 minutes before. Right. TDI in Jeffersonville told me that's an automatic fail. You can't, if you leave, what they've told us, and this is what it's always been since I understand, is that if you leave, it's an automatic, refusal. So when you get there, if you can't go, you have to sit there so that they can watch you, and you have to wait. That's what they've always explained. So who remembers moving on? Yeah, I remember that a little bit. Call up from a payphone. Randy Halo, where are you going to do that? From what payphone? Excuse me, Superman, I need to get in there for a minute. Bill Gates and Elon Musk are in a war of words after Gates said electric trucks will never work for a long haul. Yeah, I think he's probably right. At least, look, they'll work because people said you'll never be able to fly in the air in a plane. Something metal will never fly. In the future, yes, they'll work for the long haul. Today, with the technology today, not really. Can you imagine going, coast to coast? You're stuck in traffic, and then you go through the snow or whatever. No way. Right now, they're a ways off. Local only to start. I remember companies coming to Roadmaster saying we could get paid up to $75,000 the first year. Huh? Yeah, up to. Tell them, where's that job? And when was this? Roadmaster, $75,000 the first year. Tell them, all right, you'd like to go work there. That would fall under Good Samaritan Act. Yes, you're right. You have an obligation to render first aid if you're trained, but you're not mandated to do so. Okay, so there we go. Right, you're not mandated. I don't have to do anything. I could say, I'm sorry, I'm not doing anything. I'm just going to sit here and watch these people die. I mean, you don't have to legally get out and go, I'm legally obligated to help you. So, I mean, no. Plus, you could injure somebody, even the Good Samaritan or whatever. You don't really want to injure somebody if you're not trained. So, I don't know. But the sheets and all that was always linked to this idea that you're going to be first on the scene of an accident, and you're going to have to rip off these white bed sheets and use them. I'm like, I just paid $7 for those sheets. I'm not getting rid of those. The options do not transfer with Tesla. Like I purchased at an auction, fully loaded with all the extras. Turn them off after a month. I did read something about that, right? And cars are going to do that. By the way, BMW is the first one where they're going to charge a monthly fee for heated seats. I read about that. The heated seats you'll be paid per month on that stuff. So the way I understood the fueling did transfer with Tesla. Maybe they've stopped that. My company goes back 7 years looking for a felony. Yeah, that's fair. But when you call and ask about it, the companies are like, maybe we should call somebody else. You do not have to render first aid unless it's within the operation of your duties. If you're a first responder or a paramedic, well, then that's your job to do that. I'm just driving along and I come upon an accident. I don't have to get out and do anything. I just sit there and wait for help to arrive. I don't even have to call it in if I don't have any part in it. You don't want an Alpha. They're pretty look up, but they stay in the shop. Big trucking. Oh, I totally agree with you. Look, I love that car. That's why I went to look at it. They're very unusual. You don't see Julias around or really any Alphas around, so I agree. Does the Sonic have the 1.4 turbo? No, my Sonic, which is an LTZ, has the 1.8 non-turbo. So there. So that's how that goes on that. You know who doesn't care about that engine? Gracie. She's not impressed with an Alpha or a Sonic. So that's what's happening with her. That's the most awake she's been in a while. GP Transfer, I live in Joliet. Wow, Antonio, and I'm applying, but I only have 18 months of local experience. Well, let's see what they say about that. Give me some sweet tea. I'll go in 20 minutes regardless. Yeah, they've always told us if you stay, you're okay. Oh, which rhymes too. One, is it legal for a company to charge you for getting a DOT violation or the fact that they charge you for any tickets in escrow? I say no to that. Now, I'm not a lawyer. I have to say that all the time. You should call the local FMCSA field office. I don't know if Fleet Nav is still listening. But you should talk to a lawyer for legal advice. All right, the way I understand it, it's a company driver. They cannot charge you for any of these fees. They can fire you. Companies can always fire you, but they don't get to withhold your wages. And escrow, no way. I say no, you don't have to pay to work at a place. They're not allowed to do that, okay? So, believe me, a place that says we have an escrow, I'm out. I'm out right away. No, you don't. Not with me. I don't own the truck. So, no, but they can't withhold your wages. Anytime you have a check that does not include all your wages, you should go to the state Department of Unemployment, whatever state it is. There's an hour and wage division on there somewhere, and put in a claim for unpaid wages. I worked, and my company will not pay me. They refuse to pay me. Let them explain to the state why they're not paying you. And that's the best way to do it, because you don't need to get a lawyer involved then. The state will take care of all of it for you. GP Transco says it might be okay. Local drivers tend to be pretty good when they're sent over the road. As long as you're good, give them a call. Well, there you go. In Germany, you have to give first aid. George Wilson, oh, well, what if I don't know first aid? I go, I don't know what I'm doing. And I just start hitting people with the hammer in my truck. I go, is this first aid? I mean, seriously, if you don't know what you're doing, you could do more bad than good to somebody. Mark, you said you have done very well in trucking. Wow, I do okay. And would you tell us your average yearly intake before intake? My intake of roller wieners is quite high. I will say this, Michael, I make less than at least 75% of the people on this channel. Okay, I do on the road. I do really good. But being home, I don't work much. And so I don't make much. Almost, the majority, at least 75% of people on here make more than I do. I only work 45 hours a week about. So everybody makes more than me. Believe me, whatever you're making, it's more than I'm making. We heard you're actually a lawyer pretending to be a trucker. Any truth to that, GP Transco? Well, I do try to not put that out there for people. But on the side, I do wills and estate planning for people. Not a lawyer here. How strong do your backing skills need to be to pull triples? They don't have to be at all, Mark Boo, because you don't back them up. Other than when you back up to hook them up. So I would say no more than any other person, right? If you have the endorsement and can pull a truck, you can pull triples. It's backing them to each other, and then you're only going forward with them. You're not going very far back with them. If a truck stop puts us at charging stations for big trucks, they're going to charge 100 times more than what the watt is going to be for. Well, some states actually have some kind of limit on this, on how much they charge. So that would be pretty interesting. And Tesla's the one that puts them up. They lease the place from the truck stop, and all these superchargers are owned by Tesla. And they only charge, it's way less than a car, than to fill up a gas car. It is less. I'll give Tesla that. It costs less to fill it up. Finishing up my scrambled eggs and bacon, George Costanza. Hormel Black Label microwavable bacon. Wow. I use a burner and a skillet. Much healthier. Eggs, green peppers. Man, where's this? It sounds like you got a Denny's in your truck. I-80's closed Colorado, Wyoming because it was snowing. First time driving on snow. Oh, too bad. Did you miss out on it? They had 10 inches of snow in some places. 10 inches of snow at this time of year. That's ridiculous. I had a dispatcher would only buy $500 cars, so if he got pulled over, he'd ditch the car and run. You can't ditch your own car. They just look at the plate and go, oh, it has to be a stolen car to ditch it. You can't ditch your own car. I mean, holy mackerel. Now, believe me, I've had some of those cars too. Yeah, you don't back up with doubles. Not far. Not far. Harold, thank you very much. I appreciate that. 1.8, I got a 6.6 big country catfishing. Maybe, but I get better fuel mileage. So my Sonic gets about 37 on the highway. So do you know the 4 things that you need to have with you to be legal with your ELD? You have to have 4 more things besides an ELD or you can get a ticket. And so I want to go into that. You need a user manual. You take the plate. They got a VIN. You got to take every VIN off the car too. You have to, for the unit, you must have that with you. You must have that with you. If you get an hour service violation, get a full 10-hour break, can you get a ticket on an inspection? You can always get more tickets on inspection, yes. You have to have an instruction sheet for the officer to how to operate it, and an instruction sheet for you in case it malfunctions on what to do, and you have to have a week of blank logs with you. If you don't have those 4 things and they ask you for them, you can be given a ticket for that. Those 4 things are required with an ELD. If you don't have them now, which your company should provide them, like in all of our trucks, there's just a folder in the door or whatever with all this stuff in it. And from what I understand, most companies do this. Make sure you have those things with you in the truck. The user manual for the unit. So Truckin' Now or whatever the things are, PeopleNet. The instruction sheet for an officer so he knows how to use it and so that he can get the email sent to him. An instruction manual for you, what to do if it malfunctions, and a week of blank logs. So you've got a blank log, and they'll get you there. Joke flew right over you. Yes, exactly. But that's how it works on the ELD. Okay, so look and see if you have these 4 things. Now, yellow freight, 415, not bad. USX, though, is 816. It was 970 on Wednesday. 970 on Wednesday. That's not great. USA truck, 1214, doing good still. Road Runner, 273. It's still hanging in there. PAM, 3740. PAM is 3740 on the stock price. Pretty interesting on that. Say the rates. 18 to 21 year drivers. The food exemption is up till 12/31/20. If you are running log free, basically unencumbered by the FMCSA, expect to make some more money for your wallet through the end of the year. You'll be able to purchase more bacon and stuff to cook in your truck. I'm going rogue, throwing my ELD in the dumpster. They said that's one of the largest violations that they get, which I was just reading about that, is there'll be a section on the ELD where they think the driver unplugged it from the unit and then plugs it back in later, and that shows as a problem. So you don't unplug the thing and think, oh, it's just not going to record this time. It's still, doing its thing or whatever. So unplugging it is not a solution. Is it okay for doubles and triples to take a 30-minute at the fuel line? I don't think so. I don't like it. Look, they should pull somewhere else. I don't know. If you're not blocking anybody, then it's okay. If you're not going to block people, but if you're blocking somebody, it's no different than any other truck. They can't say, well, they have to plan their day better to be able to park where they're not blocking everybody in. They can't say, well, I've double, so you have to sit behind me. That isn't right. Rates this week for vans were 211, reefer 228, and flats were 210. A penny under vans this week. That's really unusual. That's the national DAT load board rate. So you maybe get more or less than that. That's just the national rate. If you're doing double that, then I guess you're doing great. If you're doing $1.05 at JCT, you may want to consider some other options. George Costanza, since a single van takes 10 minutes, triples obviously should take 30 because 3 times the truck. Oh, very good. Right. It's not hard to hook them up. Okay. Hooking them up is not that complicated. It's only a few minutes each as long as you know where they are and stuff. So it doesn't take that long to get everything hooked up. I wouldn't be surprised if they want removable battery packs. Like the taxis in Japan, there's some taxis that have a removable battery pack. You pull into a thing. I saw it. The pack comes out the bottom. They shove another pack in it and off it goes. Less than 5 minutes, it's refilled, kind of like a car. I'm like, oh, well, this works just like a car. They might do that, but imagine how much the battery pack weighs in a semi. This is not going to be some small operation. You need a huge thing to lift it out of there. It's going to weigh 10,000 pounds. Or, I don't know, thousands of pounds. We only get about 30 more miles to go than I do big country catfishing. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly. And I go way less miles than you, certainly. And now with my new winter tires on it, I should be good for quite a while. Harold, May Trucking has like 900 trucks and we're having multiple accidents every day. Yeah. Well, I mean, these kind of companies all have the same problem of the trainers. They don't have a lot of experience because they're not required to have any by law. And so it's up to the company, and they don't make people have experience. If they made you have 5 years experience at May to be a trainer, they wouldn't have any trainers because there's not that many people there with that much experience. So it's kind of the blind leading the blind at May and all these other places. And so you get into a lot of accidents. And I would expect a place with a lot of trucks to have a lot of accidents. So 3 a day If they had 3 every day, that's more than 900 accidents a year. So not only do they have 100% turnover, they have 100% accident rate. Ironically, May, when you look at their safer web score, they get a very good score. These accidents must be small, maybe in truck stops where they're not reportable, because they have a very good safer score on the safer web. The new hours of service on your 30-minute break should make it easier to take the fuel on. Yeah, because it can be anywhere. 30 minutes of on-duty time, and only after 8 driving hours. Unplugging it, you get caught because the end mileage and restart mileage is different. That's why they get you, and you can't change those. Exactly. You can't just unplug it and think, oh, I fooled the DOT. It's not that easy. Covenant Transport is 1633. Wow, surprisingly high. Yeah, I didn't look Covenant up. I haven't ever looked them up, or not in a while. Forklifts have done this for years, and that's true. I worked at a warehouse, and they swapped out batteries twice a day. They weighed like 5,000 pounds. And I'm just saying, imagine the battery pack on a semi, and in the winter, it's going to be covered with, goo. And if a forklift battery weighs 5,000 pounds, what's the battery that a Tesla going to weigh to go 500 miles, with 80,000 pounds on it? A lot. It's almost easier for them to make the electric trucks be the local trucks, where it can do its couple of 100 miles in a large town like Houston or Chicago doing the ports, and then go back to the company and plug in at a dedicated plug that the company has installed from Tesla. That would be a lot easier to do than trying to swap batteries out on the road. Where would you go? Will they have like a speed co for batteries? A battery co? Where you pull in and they give you a new battery? I mean, holy mackerel. I made my job easy when I got to know the customer's needs and to forget the dispatchers. That's the beauty of a dedicated route, I think. You know where you're going. You know everybody. Everybody knows you, and the job gets a lot easier. I see a lot of truck lawyers on billboards. We know the Hammer is out there. Are they useful or just ineffective ambulance chasers? Well, some trucking companies need to be sued out of existence. They do. I mean, if we didn't have that, there'd be way less safety than there is now, right? It keeps everybody safe. So, I mean, if the law is that they get to sue people, then you don't want to not have that happen. If a truck ran over your family and the driver, had some kind of problem, or there was a legit safety concern, you'd want to get a lawyer and get that company off the road. That's the thing of it. May trucking going 58 is a traffic hazard, more accidents. Maybe. I don't know how many of their accidents are on the road or reportable, though, because they get a really good score from the government. Mad Hatter, what's going on? Captain Flatbed, it records missing time or data, right, and that's how they get you. You plug it back in, they're like, if you go off duty and log out, you save time in your 34-hour cycle. You should only do that if it's legitimate. Don't do that to save yourself, because that saves the company from paying you. I don't like to do the off duty if it's time I should be getting paid for. Anytime you should be paid, you should be on duty and tell them, look, I'm going to run out of hours. You need to pay me for this kind of thing. Yeah, battery co, right. Battery co. Why not have that? And you just pull in new battery. You're going to have to lease the battery then. You buy the truck and lease the battery for a certain price, and they could have Tesla battery changing stations around where it says, you pull in, but look at the wait just to get your truck washed. Okay, so sometimes there's 4 trucks in line for that. How long is it going to be when 7 16-year-olds come out to undo your battery pack from your truck, and one of them hits the wrong wire and goes flying across the thing? Zappola. I mean, this is going to be I can just see this being a problem. If you got to wait hours to get your battery changed, that's not going to be great. They're looking into solid-state batteries just due to lack of availability for current battery packs, but no one has a solid-state battery yet. Oh, certainly, the technology will change, and this thing will work just like, cars. Look at semi. Years ago, horrible. Now, way better. It'll be the same for batteries. May trucking only goes 59 to 61. That's where we got a high safety score. Maybe. The safety score partly is on reportable accidents, but their score is way better than the industry average. Like, they have a great safety score. And I'm always like, wow, that's really something, considering you see them wrapped around poles and stuff all the time. But it's always a pole at a truck stop or something like that, where it's not it's not something that's reportable. They just hit a pole and, that's the end of it. Either way, all these companies are going to have that kind of stuff, the bigger that they get. Fried teenager toes. Yeah, I mean, they're going to touch 2 wires, and that's going to be it. 440 volts, and they go flying out of the roof and end up over, in the food court, in front of the roller wiener machine. So in the done section, not in the still cooking sections. That's exactly how it's going to work. Well, I do have to go make my company some money, as always. Don't forget about Great Plains Trucking. How about that? They have a salary there. It's an interesting way to get paid. And bonuses, and they give you some groceries to get you started. And while you're there, you should, of course, wear a Blue Parrot headset no matter where you go. Because if you wear it, you may get a parrot. Don't get a ticket. I just saw somebody yesterday with their phone. They were driving a car. What are we doing? Okay, and this was like a new car. Connected to Bluetooth, people. I mean, what is happening? GP Transco needs drivers for their teal and other colored trucks, which you can drive one color of their trucks. Who knows what color, okay? So give GP Transco a call. They would like to talk to you. Napa, they have Napa know-how. How about a big Volvo? That would be pretty cool, I think. Fleet Nav might be live, might not be live. I don't have any idea. She didn't say when they're going to be live again. So, anyway, we like Fleet Nav systems. Look, if you have a Geotab question, they've got answers. Cash is King Trucking will be live today. I guarantee it. Really. Don't forget about Jay. How about that? He's going to be live tomorrow night. Tomorrow night? What? Yes. Tomorrow night. And I'm doing the clickies. And let's see, Trucker Hershey was first. But then today, Captain Flatbed was first. Is how it really worked. So, Darnell, thank you for being here. What's the fracking we're doing? Natural gas as a byproduct? Why couldn't they give it away for free? Well, somebody's got to go produce it. This is why they're looking into electric vehicles. Well, I mean, nothing is free, really, because somebody has to go get it and all the people have to work on it. So, yeah, absolutely. Maybe they're doing the battery stuff to make final batteries for space travel. That would be pretty cool. I signed up for Mars 1 years ago. Got booted out from my age, probably. George Wilson, we'll see you next week. Don't be late. Yeah, I was on time today. I just wanted to I won't be doing that again, probably. I want to make sure because of last week, I had a bunch of stream issues, so apologize, but I had to run the stream for a few minutes to see if it was working right. So I appreciate everybody staying with it anyway. Let's see here. So where am I? Oh, Mark Jones was here today. I appreciate you being here. Mad Hatter, hello there. Let's see. P-Noid News. I love it. Hello, Troy was here. Harold, thank you for being here today. Donkey Bite was here. The Critic was here. Misty, thank you for coming in today. Christina, it's good to see you. Cash is King Trucking was here today. He's going to go live soon. Wild Bill, hello. What's happening? And thank you for being here. Al Johns. Mark Fu, kind of like Kirk Fu. I love it. Thank you for coming in, GP Transco, and answering all of our questions here that we had today. I appreciate it. Juan was here today. Jubo, I love it. Antonio, thanks for being here. Luke was here today. Let's see, Paul Harris, where am I at here? Oh, Air Gunner, thank you for coming in today. Kelly was here today, and I appreciate it. Alexandra, have a good day today. And let's see where, but I have to head out to my place or they're going to gripe at me. Keto, thank you for being here. D-Boy611, and I am going to go over here and say thank you for being here. But we will be back, of course, next week and every week. Hopefully 12:30 on time next week. And be safe out there. We'll see you on the next video.